Important component. Democracy is also a building block for peace and human rights. Countries with democracies have a constitution like Ghana does. We have a 1990 constitution which helps to create an environment of protection for its citizens. So today we're ensuring that we uphold our democracy as a sovereign state. Let me motivate you this morning for a beautiful Monday morning. Our motivation this morning is by Alice L., who says, every day may not be good, but there's something good in every day. Sometimes you wake up and you feel that, well, it's not so much of a good day. But guess what? There's something good in every day. So Alice L is telling us that no matter how you feel about a certain day, or no matter how you feel about Monday, I know some of you hate Mondays because Mondays you have to wake up early, and for a lot of people who are coming from their various trips, it means that you have to do a lot of commute time. But there's something good in Monday. So wake up, go earn your keep. That's our way of motivating you as you go about your business and your daily earnings today. Let me help you improve your English language writing and speaking.
Today's word is R-E-T-I-E-C-E-N-T, reticent. It's an adjective. Reticent means unwilling to speak about your thoughts or feelings. Let's exemplify it. The party spokesperson is reticent about plans of the new government. Reticent.
Well, so that's our word for this morning. We're helping you write better English, and of course, so you can equally speak better English. Let me pump you up as you go about earning your keep. Our song for this morning is by Diana Hamilton, who features Nigerian music sensation Mercy Chinwo. Indeed, it is the doing of the Lord. It's a beautiful Monday morning. I am super excited about the day. I don't know about you. That is why I'm trying to pump you up so you can go out there and earn your keep. There's a lot that happened over the weekend, and I'll share with you all that, and then we'll talk about what to expect also here on the show, on the menu for the breakfast this morning. But let me start. It's not been such a pleasant weekend as founder of the Christo Asafo movement and Christo Asafo Church, Apostle Dr. GHOne passed on to glory over the weekend. He died at the age of 77. There was a statement by his family to announce the passing of the legendary Star of Africa, as he's popularly touted, Apostle Dr. GHOne. So the family has asked for peace and quiet as the family mourns the death of the man who was loved by many, the man who had Ghana and Africa at heart. He was an industrialist. He was an agric person through and through. He was an entrepreneur. He was a leader. He was a father. He was a mentor. He was a philanthropist. He fed so many people. He took care of so many people. But today that man is gone. What happens to his legacy is something that a lot of people are curious about. And for us as Ghanaians, it's maybe time that we tap into the knowledge of the people who are alive so we do not lose that when they are no more. So condolences to the family of Apostle GHOne. We say may the good Lord keep him in his bosom. Now, former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has commiserated with the family in a statement where he said, "I have received with deep sadness the news of the passing of Apostle Dr. GHOne Kantanka, a pioneering Ghanaian innovator and the founder and leader of the Christo Asafo mission. Apostle Asafo served Ghana beyond the capacity of a religious leader. He pioneered indigenous innovations and forcefully inspired an industrial spirit among Ghanaians. He was also dedicated to improve the lives of the less privileged in society, as witnessed in his celebrated numerous philanthropic endeavors. As a religious leader, his open arms received me anytime I called on him. I departed his presence with lasting words of encouragement and wisdom. On behalf of my family, I extend my heartfelt condolences to his family, the Christo Asafo mission, and all who mourn this irreparable loss." 2025 has been quite has taken a lot from us as Ghanaians, and this is one of the things that 2025 has taken from us. One of the people that 2025 has taken from us, and so we continuously extend our condolences to his beloved family, especially the former Member of Parliament for the Dom Kwabenya constituency, Sarah Asafo Esquire, who has lost her dear father. Our condolences to you, Asafo. Now, the Movement for Change has also extended their condolences to the Christo Asafo mission. Let me give you excerpts of it. It's quite lengthy, so I'll just bring you excerpts. It says the Movement for Change extends its deepest condolences to the Asafo family and the Christo Asafo Church on the passing of their beloved founder, leader, industrialist, agricultural pioneer, and philanthropist, Apostle GHOne, who departed this life on 11 September 2025. Apostle GHOne was not only a spiritual shepherd to the Christo Asafo Church, but also a visionary whose impacts resonated across the nation. His life's work embodied wisdom, innovation, initiative, dignity, and courage of conviction, ensuring an unwavering commitment to unity, peace, and the unshakable belief that a black man is capable of competing on the world stage. Apostle GHOne was an embodiment of the black man can handle his own affairs, as touted by Ghana's first president, Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. I think that we need to celebrate this man, even after death. So condolences once again to the entire Asafo Kantanka family and then the Christo Asafo Church. Now, talking about passing on, Asanteman mourns this week. The dossier for the Asantehima will also be held this week. The Menchia Palace has put out a number of activities that will mark the final funeral rites of the late Asantehema. It begins today. Her body has been laid in state, I'm told. People will file past, pay their last respects. A number of things have been put in place to commemorate this particular funeral. The Menchia Palace has ordered closure of all schools, banks, offices in Kumasi. The final burial will commence proper from Thursday, the 18th of September. And just so you know, here on the show, we'll bring you everything that is happening in Kumasi. We'll have a stationed set there where we'll tell you whatever is happening in Kumasi. We'll have a mini studio in Menchia, close to the Menchia Palace, where people will come in and talk about the late Asantehema. Also happening over the weekend was the apology of former Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, who's apologized to Ghanaians and the NPP fraternity for the loss of the 2024 general elections.
Yetu abaye ye research ewie. Yenim se aban ene ye party yaye mfomso. Yaye mfomso. Bebre ewo ye governance no mo. Niema wo ho a afise ye beye yanye. Ye mebi so wo ho a ye ya anka ye hu from the background so a ye enti mejina ha ye nyina ye ka ho bi. Vice President, ministers, MPs, board chairman, appointees, yenyina ya yem from so pacho momfanche and why momfanche yenyina ya from so na yesua your lessons. Nyame adom ena mode franka ne hyemensa me be ye president ambassador ya belle ne your lessons momfanche ambassador.
That's about it. Says we should forgive him. Anyway, we'll talk about that shortly. But also, today happening is government has resumed its accountability series, and the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, will take his turn before the press to account to the people of his stewardship so far. Over the weekend, he was at Bingiri. He actually crossed the border into neighboring countries where Ghanaians have sought refuge there to speak to the Ghanaians and to find out the living conditions of Ghanaians and then speak to them in hopes of them returning home to our dear nation. And then later on as well, on the show today, I'll sit with the MD for the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, Nana Kwesi Boyete Esquire. Also 6 months of his stewardship, he will account to the good people of Ghana why President Mahama put him there and what he has done so far. They've also introduced the Gazette 360. What are the dynamics? What are the loopholes that this particular Gazette seeks to seal? So if you have questions, please send them to us on our social media pages. I'll do well and ask Nana Kwesi Boyete. He's the MD for the Ghana Publishing. So you know that it's a packed show. We also have our breakfast review, obviously. 3 men will take their seats in front of me, before me, to respond to questions that I will pose to them. Talk about a number of topics. Abronya will feature prominently, our democracy will feature prominently, and a whole lot of issues. Please do not miss any part of the show. Let's take you to Inside Out. On Inside Out this morning, we're still continuing our conversation, especially as today is International Democracy Day. We're still continuing our conversation on the arrest and remand of Abronye, Kwame Mbafu, popularly known as Abronye. Many have questioned. The minority has accused the government of the day of political persecution. I have heard some persons out there. Martin Pebu has spoken against his remand because they say, well, it's a misdemeanor. Why his continuous detention? I've also seen Oliver Bakavomo add his voice to this particular detention. And many are questioning why He's still being in police custody for a misdemeanor charge. Brian Malaston joins me. Brian, good morning to you. How was your weekend?
It was okay. It was okay. Manchester United lost. Chelsea drew, unfortunately.
Did you have to remind me that Manchester United lost?
So it was okay. Once Manchester United loses, I think we are okay.
Really?
Yes, we the Chelsea supporters.
Really?
Yes. Yes, but of course I didn't go anywhere. I was home throughout mostly. So yes, it was a restful weekend. And we are back here. Back to the grind.
For God and country.
For God. Then you pause more, then you add the
country. Anyway, Abranya is still in police custody.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. And for what we gather today, the state will be making moves. The Attorney General will be making moves to ensure that he secures his freedom, albeit temporarily. I'm talking about by way of bail. And that's because across board, and I think this will be the only ruling in recent past, where you have NDC lawyers saying no, MPP lawyers saying no, neutral lawyers saying no, and probably if the judges are allowed to speak, I'm sure many of the colleagues of Judge Akwa will also say no. Because, see, he decided to give reasons for his ruling. And he took us to the animal farm, right, Jojo, and said, all men are not equal. When the constitution that created the office that he occupies, equality before the law. And so I was wondering what he was seeking to do. But he explains that in the past, he's remanded another politician for the same alleged offense. But you see, if the reason for remanding the first one was not properly grounded, then same will hold for this one. And especially in this case, you have remanded the person earlier. The person comes back to court. And then, you see, it speaks to one thing. And that's why many people, including people in government, are condemning this. You see, the police will take decisions. Sometimes the military take decisions. The immigration officers take decisions, right? The judiciary will take decisions. Decisions have got nothing to do with the president or the government of the day. But guess what? When the backlash comes, it's the government that takes it.
Exactly. Like the previous government did the arrest of the Galamsey protesters.
Exactly.
I mean, a lot of people had cause to speak against what the government of the day did at the time.
Yes.
And so with this, we also have every cause to speak against it. I mean, it's a misdemeanor charge. I mean, why has continuous incarceration?
It doesn't help anybody. Let him go home, and then he will make his day and his way to court to face his charges. It is what it is, right?
But or maybe, I mean, you know, previously he had tried to seek asylum. Maybe he would.
It came up. The police, especially the police prosecutors, and that's the thing. Sometimes it's not every prosecution, especially when it comes to bail applications and what have you, that the police will have to wait for the input of the Attorney General. The police are equally allowed to prosecute. That's why they are police prosecutors, right? So that's the argument that was advanced. The argument was advanced that he's a flight risk, he will run away, and the judge said there is no guarantee that if he's granted bail, he will not go and repeat the same offense because his Onuya TV is still Ohia TV. His Ohia TV is still active. But you see, that's not enough justification. That's not enough justification.
But how is Abranya a flight risk?
That he's seeking asylum. He's not even been granted. No country has said, "Come, we will receive you." Right? And like Afinomakin argued. Afinomakin argued forcefully in court that this is a regional chairman of a political party. He has every interest to be in the country than to be outside the country, right? And if you need sureties, we can't guarantee that. But the judge still said, no, go in for another extra week. And I want to send a message to politicians that if you don't set standard for yourself, the court will set standard for you.
Well, on that regard, I think the judge is right. I mean, I think that the political class must set certain standards. And I don't want to come across as... But it's not everybody that can hold political positions in this country.
I agree.
We need to set the standards right. Because, see, we're also churning out young politicians by the day. And so if this is the standard, it means that it becomes a free-for-all. Everybody can do this and then get away with it. I mean, people must be held accountable. I mean, we condemn the utterances of Abonye.
Oh, yes.
However, I mean, this is, I think it's to the extreme.
It's needless, to be honest. See, this conversation should not have featured in discussions on the media landscape.
National conversation.
This week. It should have been done with this last week. He's granted bail, yes, he's gone, and that's it. But we are here still talking about this just because a judge has decided to be high-handed, to be honest. And it's difficult to understand the reasoning or whose interest the judge sought to serve. Because law, logic, whatever that you pin the decision on, it cannot stand.
Well, but it lies in the bosom of the judge, so...
We understand that. We are also allowed to disagree with the judge, as many lawyers have done, right?
Of course.
Yes.
But let's listen, before we continue, let's listen to the lawyer for Kwame Bafo Abonye.
The police says that they have not completed investigation. That is their only reason. But how can you use ongoing investigation as a form of punishment against an accused person? How? How can you use an ongoing investigation as a form of punishment against an accused person? It is unconscionable.
Okay, I do apologize. That's
Enoch
Enoch Afakwa. He's
yes.
a member of the NPP legal team.
Yes.
Let's hear the minority leader, Alexander Kwame Pengamaki.
We in the minority are not satisfied or happy with how the Chief Justice was recently removed. We see it as more of politics than really ensuring that there's some accountability. Of course, once we've been in office for 8 years, we expect that the new government coming in with its reset policy may want to investigate and all is part of the politics, the democratic accountability. They must. But we also expect that the law will be applied in a humane way. So, for instance, if you are investigating someone, you ask the person to report, and he reports. You don't just handcuff the person when he has voluntarily come to you for investigation, and then you say, I have put a bail bond of, say, 50,000 on you, look for property before I release you. These are some of the challenges that we believe we can improve upon. Because for the past 30 years, it's become clear that both parties have had the chance to govern. I am a moderate politician. I believe that the excesses where the hardliners take the center and to take the pace when a government comes into office must be a thing of the past. I must admit that some of these excesses are happening in my time, in our time, our 8 years in office. Some did happen.
Okay, so that's Minority Leader Osahin Alexander Kwame Pengamaki, Esquire. He's a lawyer. Sometimes I think a lot of people forget that he's a lawyer.
Yes, that's true. When they get consumed in the politics, they forget that he's not just a lawyer, but he's a practicing lawyer.
Yes.
Right. Yes. Who runs a law firm. Right. Parliament and the standing orders allow members of Parliament to do that, but just that you have to write to the committee chaired by the Speaker to give you that permission. So there are many members of Parliament who still practice as lawyers, right? When they were in Parliament, even now, some of them who have lost their seat, like Kitty Hammond, some who didn't go, like Atachia, still practicing as lawyers. Yes, of course, the House is not short of legal brains.
Yes. It's a house of legal brains,
yes.
right?
So after this, in fact, this engagement was when the UK minister visited the Speaker, right, in Parliament. And then he made his way to court to represent Abonye. So Afino Makin was the one who represented Abonye during the bail hearing, which was not accepted, right? But since then, per what we gather, the Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayeni, has decided to step in. Okay. And so once the state says it is no longer opposed to Abonye being granted bail, it will soften the ground, and I'm sure he can be released. Otherwise, he will have to be in until Friday when he's expected to return to court again.
I think that's, I mean, at this point,
yes, but it's okay.
I know that, yes. I mean, whatever he did is distasteful, and it's not even something we can even play on television to our viewers. It's distasteful. His choice of words, his tone, his mannerisms, everything is wrong about what he did.
Yes.
However, this is a misdemeanor.
I agree, and I can understand.
And if anybody feels defamed, you go to court. You have taken him to court.
Exactly.
Allow the process to take its course. The law is the law.
The law. And then finally, I can understand why many people will want Abronye caged, and if there's any word like that, super caged.
Yes.
Because from men of God to politicians to ordinary Ghanaians, he's poured vitriol on them.
Yeah.
So I'm sure many people might have seen the video where he's talking about Archbishop Duncan Williams.
Yeah, and many say that, well, it's the curse that he rained on him that's coming into pass, and a whole lot of narratives.
Yeah, but to be fair, and like I said, I mentioned here on Friday that hopefully Abronye learns a lesson.
We do hope so.
We do hope so, because see, some of those things must end. You can't mention people, high placed people in society, their names, and say the things you say about them and think there could not be repercussions. No. In the name of politics, there should be a limit.
Yes, I agree. Right. In the name of politics, we should be minded of the things we say, even our posturing.
Exactly.
You know, I think that even as the various political parties who go about electing executives, they need to be mindful of the kind of people they put in those executive positions.
True.
They are very critical because they represent those parties. So it's very, very important. So that should do for insight. Unfortunately, we couldn't speak to the lawyer for Kwame Bafo. He says that at this point he cannot speak to us. Granted, maybe after the Attorney General stepping in, maybe he would have a cause to speak to us. But that should do for Inside Out. Let's look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. Begin with the Daily Graphic. Banner headline: poultry industry to be self-sufficient in 3 years. President pledges. Is this feasible?
It should be, because if you look at the amount of money, yes. In fact, poultry, 6 months, DO checks, if you broilers and what have you, 6 months they should be ready for the market, right? And so if we put our money where our mouth is, we should be able to do this. We should be able to do this. But it's ambitious and it's good. It will put pressure on the authorities
to work,
because we'll be here to measure. We'll be here to measure. But we need to. Because you see, there's a difference between even locally grown or produced chicken and then the imported ones. You have no idea the conditions under which they were slaughtered and they were kept and then they were being imported, right? The one you call akukufus. You see, I was just garnishing it. You see, so it's good. Let's get it to work. Let's get it to work. Probably under the Nkukon Ketenkete policy.
Project,
Yes. So that one is there.
Anti-Galamsey Task Force purges and Cobra Bonsa Rivers, 300 structures destroyed, equipment seized. I think that for Galamsey, we need an all-hands-on-deck approach.
We do. It's good to know that there's a task force still working. Because after the recall of the IGP's men, I was yet to hear of any task force. But the story means that there's a task force that's working. That's good. They should go to the, I think, Ankobra. They talk about Ankobra. Yes, I saw a video. In fact, they should also go to Ofin, River Ofin as well. I also saw a video of young men working on a Sunday afternoon in the open on the river.
GREL at the start of raw material due to smuggling. Charlie. Professor Tuahine Jima named Academy of Management Distinguished Scholar. Congratulations to him.
There's a professorship that GTech will have no reason to complain about, I'm sure. Daily Guide this morning: forgive our mistakes. Baumia to Ghanaians. And so,
how many times?
Yes, I just want to find out from you and Ghanaians, right? at a certain point, you guys know that you have to forgive Bawumia, right? Because this is like the 5th time I've heard him apologize. Right?
Forgive him for what?
Okay, the things he's apologizing for. He
That's
says they made mistakes, right, in government.
They
just like any human being, they were fallible.
Hardship.
Yes, many other decisions that ought not to have been taken, policies that ought not to have been rolled out, they were all done, right? And so lessons learned. But you see, if you've been following our political space, just follow back to after 2016. That was what John Mahama was saying.
Yes, forgive us.
Right? John Mahama was talking about the fact that he will be a better person upon his return because he's been there before. He's done it all. He knows things that work and things that do not work. And I'm sure that's what is shaping his governance now. Right? Exactly. So flip the coin.
That's why they term the legacy term.
Yeah.
So can he wait for 8 years? But in waiting for the 8 years, we don't have a say in whether he becomes flag bearer. His party people will have to elect him.
And that's why he's apologizing to them as well. So the apology is not just to you and I, the ordinary Ghanaians.
But to his party
the
people
delegates as well.
As well.
Yes.
I hope that they listen. I just hope that they will listen. I mean, if you look at the crop, I'm not doing campaign for anybody, apologies, but if you look at the crop, I mean, for an economist, for somebody who onimde, like they say, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
But I mean, it is subject to the approval of the delegates.
Most definitely, it's a battle of ideas, and the campaign is heating up. It's heating up. Its first stop is in the Ashanti region. I'm told Brian Champon is also lacing his boots to also kickstart his campaign. Kennedy Japon is doing the same. So it's
I love what is happening. You know?
Oh yeah, it's
I love what is happening.
Just
but it should just be battle of ideas. The vitriol, the toxicity, especially on social media, is enough.
I agree.
Let's go into the contest clean.
I agree.
Ideas. Tell us what you can do. Bawumia says he's been there before. This is what he can do further. You say you've also been there before as a minister. Tell us what you can do if you're given the nod. You say you were there at some point. You were an MP. You were this. You were that. Tell us what you can do.
That's true.
And then they should whip their followers in line.
That's true.
Unnecessary bantais.
So that's for the MPP, which is expected to be wrapped up on the 31st of January 2026, when the delegates get the opportunity to make a decision. But our NDC is about videos here and there. I'm sure you've seen some video here and there, social media blitz here and there. It also promises to be very beautiful, very beautiful. So I brought the other headlines for the Daily Guide. I brought the judge under fire over Animal Farm ruling. My arrest politically motivated. Akpalu. Starbites, man. Okay.
I know. Starbites, man. He should make the band of us.
No, but you see, Yoko shouldn't catch feelings over this. You see, he meant to praise Yoko for how accommodating.
Just as Shatawale did.
Yes, how accommodating Yoko is. Yeah, so you are allowed to order food from delivery outlets. It's beautiful. Yeah, Apostle Dr. Kojo Safo Kantanka passes on. I'm careful in using the doctor.
So that GTech doesn't come up.
Apostle Kojo Safo
come after us.
Kantanka passes on. But this is a man worth celebrating.
Yes. We didn't celebrate him enough.
No.
We didn't.
We didn't. But of course, I'm sure also that's because of the politics of it, right? But after it's all said and done, forget about the automobile aspect.
Yeah.
See, this man was an innovator when it comes to agriculture, transport business, right?
Philanthropy.
And what is very beautiful is that we watched him do all these things on our screens.
Yes.
He was the founder of Christo Asafo Concert Drama Group. The Christo Asafo Concert Drama Group that brought Afroberto and Co. That was him, right? So I agree that we've not celebrated him enough. Probably because at the point we were blinded by the politics, especially the politics that the children were involved in and what have you. And then with the automobile one, I've always said that the challenge had got to do with the branding. Was it manufacturing or assembling? I think at the point that we played with the words. Assembling. Manufacturing is totally different, right? But nonetheless, he did something that is worth celebrating, and we must celebrate him. Hopefully, his children are able to protect his legacy. So that will be it. We've invested 100 million. Final one. We've invested 100 million. We've invested 100 million Ghana cedis in salaries. That's according to Heath Goldfields. That is it for the Daily Guide this morning.
Okay. The Ghanaian Times says fear grips Saka residents. Market stores cave in after blast from mine shaft. Kumasi shuts down for Asante Hima's burial on Thursday, and I told you that here on the show we're bringing you a series of reports and interviews on the burial of the Asante Hima. We also have a makeshift studio in close to the Mensha Palace so that we can have a lot of interviews going on there. 2020 National Best Farmer to unveil 8 million cedis cocoa dryer house at Mpatabaku Sikum. Okay. Ghana's foremost tech innovator, Apostle Kwadwo Safo, dead. Condolences again to his family and then the Christo Safo Church.
The Chronicle this morning, Mahama slams GMO chicken on the Ghanaian market as government eyes poultry sector shake-up. I'm the right person to lead NPP in 2028, Baumia. And US deportee deal, a blatant breach of constitution, minority is saying. And finally, resetting the national leadership crisis of the Islamic religion in Ghana, an open petition to John Mahama. And it's a petition from Razak Kojopuku. And quotation for this morning, 2 Timothy 2:7. Think over what I say, for the Lord will give you understanding in everything. So says the Lord.
This one, no one command.
In everything, get understanding.
So in everything,
yes.
the NPP people get understanding of what Dr. Babia is saying.
Yes.
Anyway, let's move on. The custodian says minority rejects Ghana-US unlawful deportee deal. Will maintain Baumia for 2028. Ashanti region speaks. I'm sure by now his other opponents are writing speeches to counter this. Cost of electricity killing GBC. 2 studios shut down. Apostle Kwadwo Safo passes on. Maybe you wanted to say something.
Yes, the studios. Maybe the lights could be too many, so if they shut down some of the lights, the light men will tell you that maybe the electricity cost will go down, or the light people here. But the point is that the national broadcaster needs help.
Yes.
And I think the government must intervene.
Exactly. The national broadcaster is ailing by the day. All citizens not equal before the law. A Bronian judge gives animal farm ruling. Anyway, no further comments.
The New Crusading Guide this morning. Minority demands halt to US deportee deal as Ghana becomes America's dumping ground. So that there should be some editing there as Ghana becomes America's dumping ground. And Sogakope High Court asked to stop alleged trespass on family land in Keta. Oh, the High Court is trespassing. Okay. A silent war drum, provocative distortion of Ashanti history. And PC Appeal for endorses Brian. Oh, he's around. PC Appeal for Oh, wow. He's endorsed Brian the Champon, the foremost anti-graft campaigner. PC Appeal for Sir KT Bro Constantine, KDM Kudeji passes on, and retraction and apology to TDC boss. Yes, there was that demand. Because he was accused of having appropriated a land at a very dismissive cost. Yes, and so his lawyers had to write to the New Crusading Guide. So they've done the right thing here. And Asamenkase bleeds while authorities look on. Royal family cries out over chieftaincy dispute. And finally, fresh concerns raised over attempted sale of Adamus mine.
The new publisher, Kwadwo Safo Kantanka, is dead. Christo Safo weeps. NPP calls for state of emergency on Galamsey. Robbers hijack travelers on Kumasi Sunyani Highway. NEIP, a Greek ministry, sign MOU to boost Ejumewura. Okay.
The News Center, seamless digital services at the heart of MTN's growth strategy. That's according to the group CEO, Mupita. NPP elders bind flag bearer aspirants into issue-based campaign and choose restaurants $150 million for AT. And of course, credible foreign investor holds key to telecom turnaround. That's according to an MP. I'm told that's OPK. There is a bid from an investor to take over AT. Ghana's tech future threatened by skills gap. That's according to Professor menu.
That's quite worrying.
Yeah,
if
very,
you ask me.
because
I mean,
that's where the world is
the
moving to.
future is the world is now in tech and AI. So if it's a bleak one for us, then it's quite worrying.
Yeah.
Anyway, that should do for the newspapers. Now this is from Musa Lansa to his boss. He says, a very good morning to my boss, Charles Tichibwedi, and a belated happy birthday to him. This is from my former boss,
Yes,
Musa Lansa, to his boss.
Charles Tetibodu. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Charles, good morning and happy birthday.
Belated
Happy belated birthday to you.
And a good morning to you, Musa Lansa.
as well.
We'll catch you on the flip side. My name is Lily Muhammad. I take a break here. When I return with my guest for the breakfast review. Stay tuned in. You're welcome back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV, and I am Lily Mohammed. This is obviously your perfect morning companion on television. It's our time for the breakfast review, and I've been joined in studio by Theophilus Jumega Jr. Esquire, a private legal practitioner, mining engineer, and a member of the NDC communications team. I've also been joined by Reverend Dr. Godsinger Hiabo. He's a senior lecturer and coordinator, head of economics. So he's senior lecturer, head of economics and development studies at the Central University. We're waiting for the NPP rep, Kwesi Botri. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Morning, Lily.
Morning.
How was your weekend? Rev, you abandoned us all.
Oh no, I just had to go and hide a little, but I'll be back very soon.
You're fully on board.
I'll
You're
be back
welcome
very
back.
soon. Yes.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Council, how are you?
Fine, Lily. Apart from your mischief over the weekend, I think the weekend went well. The week has started well. You know, the bar conference is beginning today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually yesterday, but the opening, yeah.
Okay.
So my colleagues are in Wa.
Okay.
And I wish them a fruitful bar.
But you're not joining them?
No, I'll do online. We have the virtual one.
Okay.
Yes, so I'll do mine virtual so as to serve Mother Ghana again.
Well,
they with you too.
For God and country.
Exactly.
Over the weekend, unfortunately, we learned of the passing of the founder and leader of the Christ Asafo Church, Apostle. I don't know whether to use the doctor. Well, GTech has not given us any indication whether it is he can use it or not. But what we know him as Apostle Dr. Kwesi Asafo. He passed on at the age of 77. And this morning I was telling my colleague, Ibrahim Alassan, that he's the one we've not celebrated enough. Have we as a country?
I don't think so. We've not celebrated him enough, like you just said. He was a kind man, and we are talking about employment. And through his initiative, he generated a lot of employment.
Yeah.
And many people rely on him. And he's a philanthropist. He's helped humanity.
Yeah.
I think Ghana has lost a great person, an engineer, an inventor, a farmer, a man of many parts. Africa has lost a great person. The world has lost a great person. And we pray that we'll get somebody who will take after him, because I'm sure he has mentored a lot of people. Yeah. He has trained a lot of people. From humble beginning, he has defied the odds. So he is a story in himself. So we want people to look up to him and then do some of the things he did and even do better. We thank God for such a great person, and I think we've lost a great person.
Absolutely, Council.
Yeah. He was an institution by himself.
Sure.
I mean, the secondary school that he had, I happened to have one of the former students work under me.
Oh, okay.
And I think next to Jesus is how the lady put him. Yes. Okay. The lady was like, he was saying all the good things about him, you know, apart from the church he was saying. And this just reminds me of a certain Nana Drobo that we had years back. Okay. Doc will remember when the cure of HIV thing came, that had to travel to Japan, came back, and after a while passed on. And his knowledge about whether he could actually cure HIV or not, we never knew. And this man who had just gone to the Maker also had similar situation where we're talking about the things that were coming out of, but whether we have really made an effort to use the products that were coming out of him and to expand it to make it international. In fact, someone mentioned it to me last year in Williston, North Dakota, that they manufacture pickups in Ghana. Am I aware? I say yes. And he said, well, how come that we don't export it and we still import vehicles? So that is the global nature of the impact he has made. May his soul repose, and may our Maker receive him in his bosom until the judgment day. And
you know, one of the daughters attended Central University. I taught the daughter economics.
Oh.
So I know the daughter.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
That's nice.
One of the great, private universities in Ghana, Central University.
Okay. You talk about we're not tapping into the things that he did. The NDC is pushing an industrialization and infrastructure agenda. Is this something that the NDC government will look into?
Yes, prior to even NDC, there was a time where we were thinking before the imports being made the last time will be coming from his end. I watched a video prior to his demise of someone saying he went there to buy a vehicle and he has to pay import duty. And that put him off because he thought the things were being made locally. Back to your question about something which NDC will tap into. Yes, I think it's an area for opportunity or an opportunity for growth. And I think that those who are manning the technological advancement of his area should also make an effort to get closer to the powers that be, to say this is what we have. It's one thing saying we have it, nobody knows what you have, and it's another thing for people to know what you have and go in and tap into it. So I think it's an area NDC would like to look at, and the organizers should also get closer to NDC for a better collaboration. Yeah.
Okay. Let's delve into our topics this morning. And one of them is the continuous detention of Abonye. Well, he's on remand. Last week he was in court. He had his day in court after his arrest, and he was remanded by a circuit court. Now, many have questioned why he's been remanded. He was remanded before he had his day in court. He's been remanded again. Many are questioning why he's still being remanded on the charges of misdemeanor. And I have also heard some lawyers question that as well. Martin Kpebu has equally had a cause to question it. Oliver Bakavomo has had a cause to question it. The minority has accused the government of launching a systemic campaign to suppress dissent. Counsel, let me start from you.
Lily, this is an area let's be careful as lawyers. Martin Kpebu is one person that I respect a lot. He has given a lot to the jurisprudence of this country that we need to celebrate him as well. There's a famous case of Kpebu versus AG, Attorney General, which talks about bail. And there's there's a tendency to have that ruling and say, and be holding it. Kpebu says all offenses are bailable. If you read it carefully, there's a paragraph by Duce, the Emeritus Justice of the Supreme Court, says that much as I concur with what my brother Benin has said, I want to put on record that it is not every Tom, Dick, and Harry offense or person that appears before the court that must be granted bail. And bail, again, lies at the discretion of the judge.
Yeah.
Now, what are the grounds for refusal of bail? One of them is the ability or the capacity or the idea that the person is likely to commit an offense when released on bail. I mean, this is something that we should all pay attention to.
Okay.
It could happen. It is not the fact that it's a misdemeanor for which reason you must just grant bail. Really, the other thing is that when you go to court and move an application for bail, in our part of the world, I believe everywhere, your demeanor as a lawyer also counts. Because you have somebody's liberty at stake. You don't go appearing to say that bail. A colleague said the moment you said Martin Kpebu versus AG, all bails, all offenses are bailable, some judges get angry. It is true. It is like you telling them that for the fact that there is Martin Kpebu and AG, grant the guy bail. They won't listen to it. You go in a humble mode, appeal to the judge, get the reasons why your client needed to be granted bail. And the only reason for which a bail is granted is the fact that the person is likely to appear and stand trial. Now, this gentleman thing that we were talking about, whether it's before the courts or not, is a notorious fact that he has written to the embassies asking for political asylum. So if he's granted bail, there's the possibility that he may not appear before court.
Now, but we have not seen or heard any of these countries under their embassies even respond to him, saying that, okay, we want to give you audience to even listen to you? Is that not cause enough?
No. In his book, Sir Dennis, you remember when he was being vetted, he was literally lecturing. He said one example of showing that the person might not appear is if the person goes on to acquire a passport or selling his items. So that's the intention for the person to abscond.
Okay.
So it is the intention. Much as this thing is before court, let's educate the public properly. So if you are making an effort to say, assuming tomorrow morning, he walks into one of the embassies to say, I need political asylum, without writing to them, and say, I won't come out. By international jurisprudence, they are expected to accord him that political asylum. And that's the end. You see, and again, I wish that people would take the ruling of the judge. I know a lot of people have bashed the judge here and there.
Especially for his animal farm comments.
Yes. I mean, there are two, which I believe you know, there are two parts of judgment, the obiter and the ratio. The obiter are statements made. They don't carry weight. They are not binding. Are you okay? There was a bishop, I think Kango was, when he was being jailed, the judge used biblical expressions. And if you read, there are some cases, the judge even said, not even the biblical Job will forgive you in such a situation. We have it all over. Let us not home in on that. What is the ratio? The ruling. In any case, you see, the judge could have just written, application refused. Accused person to remain in custody until so and so. Simple. The judge could have said that, having listened to the application by the defense counsel and listened to the prosecution, I am of the considered opinion that the application is refused and the defendant shall remain in custody, or the accused shall remain in custody. Simple. Nothing would have happened. But perhaps he was carried on to write all this that we are reading. And again, pay attention. The judge said, I did this under MPP, and I'm doing it now. I did it for Untumi's journalists, and I'm doing it here. Yes, the Orwellian thing that he was saying, that all animals are equal, but some are more equal. Is it not true? Even if, as we have the idea that we are all equal before the law. No, there are some rights that journalists enjoy that I will not enjoy. There are equals among equals. There are some rights that students enjoy.
Some politicians enjoy that we journalists don't enjoy.
Exactly. There are some enjoyments, some rights that some politicians enjoy that I don't enjoy. So there are still...
Well, there are levels to everything.
Exactly. So, but the bigger thing is that, you see, when you approach a judge for bail application, you must show a bit of decorum. And I believe that, again, there was a case last year when an NDC guy wrote something about Dampare and the last Henry Cote. And the guy went to court. He was arrested, sent to court. The judge refused bail. It was also a misdemeanor. Refused bail and said that, I am going to do expeditious trial so that when he's not guilty, he's free quickly. If he's guilty, he serves his sentence quickly. And he did a trial daily. And you know who was the Attorney General then? Godfrey Dami, who was one of the lawyers last Friday. You see, so sometimes the world goes round like this, and comes back round like that. And some of the things that we do today might affect us tomorrow. That's why personally I am happy that the current Attorney General is one of the people who is against the daily trial, because as a lawyer, you need time, get a record, prepare for the next trial. You don't have to go today, come back at 2 o'clock, you are back 8 o'clock, etc. So some of the things they did yesterday is catching up with them today. But the bigger picture is the politics of insults. For Christ's sake, this is the regional chairman of a political party. If you listen or you watch some of the things that he has said, not allegedly, it's all over the place. You watch them, you will not like your children to watch such clips. It is so abhorrent.
That's true.
It's so abhorrent. We shouldn't. And it's coming from an area where one of the founders of the history of MPP, Busia tradition, comes from. And this is the party of Busia. And from an area of Busia that we have such a chairman. No, he beggars belief. So let us look at that. Charity begins at home. Let us try. You see the comments about His Excellency the President. You see the comments about Duncan William. You see the comments about Dampare.
So why not the President sue him? Why not Duncan Williams sue him? Why not the IGP sue him?
You see, this doesn't mean that they cannot sue him. The charge on which he is different from the civil action. Perhaps somebody is waiting. When he's convicted, he will pick it and say, he's been convicted. The thing speaks for itself. Let's go to court on a civil matter.
Okay.
But he's doing something, he's been charged with something that is not properly, that is likely to injure the peace that we enjoy. That's a criminal matter.
Okay.
Yes, but I don't think His Excellency the President, knowing who he is, will sue Abronyi. I believe if he has his own way, he would have said, if it's mine, forgive him. But you see, the judge also made a comment, and the prosecution were also on that comment, that you are attacking the head of the police, not the individual, the institution. And that is likely to cause demoralization within the police, the rank and file of the police. And that is not good for our country.
Okay.
So, first...
So then, was it a show of power by the police hierarchy?
No, it was a show of law enforcement.
Okay.
Yes, the police were right to arrest him. Indeed, I believe, Lily, you are not too young to remember Bulldog. When he made a comment that if President Akufo-Addo doesn't pay Men's Gold customers, he won't complete his term. You remember?
Yes, I remember very well.
I guess that was not show of force. You remember Kweku Anyidoho? When he said that history will repeat itself. You remember what happened? And indeed, in that particular instance, a journalist was beaten and who is still struggling till today. So, again, let's come back to that area. It is not a show of force. I'm not talking about equalization. A wrong is a wrong. Let us clean our politics of insult. You can make your point without shouting. You can make your point without insult. And you can make your point and people will understand and carry them with you without all the dangerous words that are coming out.
Okay.
Now, if you look at, I took time to watch the videos. I mean, much as they were stomach churning, I took time to watch the videos and I asked questions. Nobody within the party could tell him that, hey, where you are going is too bad.
But he's had his own friction with a number of his colleagues in his own party.
Yes, but again, you see, my enemy's enemy is my friend. That has played out there. So those who are supposed to stop him are enemies to those he's enemies to.
Okay.
So they believe that if my enemy's enemy is my friend, let my enemy's enemy continue to attack my enemy. That is purely what it is.
Okay.
But the decency within the body politics, particularly of MPP, is something we need to call out for. That hey, you need to be decent in some of your words you choose. You see, Ghanaians are wide awake now. They are able to read through. Someone will say he's trying to imitate Kevin Taylor. There are two different jurisdictions. Who is going to stand from here to say that I'm going to the U.S. to go and get Kevin Taylor arrested?
Okay.
You find it difficult that he has offended you find it difficult. So
there are different jurisdictions.
Different jurisdictions. Yeah. I mean, so for me, I believe that, hey, let us clean our politics of insults. I also heard that the Attorney General is likely to step in.
Yes.
I don't know how they want to do it. The only thing they can do is what is called abridgment of time. They make an application for his bail application to be brought forward, maybe for a day or two, then either for the same judge or a different judge to consider the grounds for which they are asking for bail.
Okay.
And we pray that if that happens, the goodwill that is being shown, he will reciprocate the same goodwill. Because you see him on Friday, he was making himself like a living martyr, that raising his handcuffs, aka Donald Trump style, to say that hey, I am the champion here. No, that's not what we need.
Okay. Rev.
Yeah, thank you. He said if somebody is trying to do a passport or trying to sell their property, it's a sign that maybe you want to leave. But I think that this man may have his passport already. So that one is clear. It's not like he's now trying to do it. He may have done his passport already. And I've not heard that he's trying to sell his property.
No. I give examples that in his book, he gave examples of sort of things. So if those are some of the examples, and granted even that you are saying he has a passport already and he's seeking political asylum, then it means that you are even added that he has done more than just getting passport.
Yeah, so okay. What I want to say is that he's a political activist. I don't agree to some of the things he say. Freedom of speech should be encouraged. But freedom of speech does not mean insult. Does not mean hate speech. So somebody say the advice should go like they just says that that means the advice must go two ways. I think that maybe at times in his utterances he goes maybe too hard. And so I think that he has to be talked to so that he can also know that, I mean, although there's freedom of speech, I mean, you can't go and more or less insult somebody or defame somebody. But however, perception also matters. You know, what is happening, it may be that they are just dealing with the IGP, but the perception is that they will say the president, during his time, he didn't give his political opponents the chance to express themselves. So since the lawyer himself says that this is a misdemeanor, in my judgment, I think that giving him bail will not be bad. The perception is that if he's being kept there, they will say that it's the government that is behind it. He may not be the one behind, or he may be, but that's the perception. So I think that I'm happy that I heard that they said the Attorney General is trying to. Because why is he trying to? Because he wants the person to get bail so they don't say the government is the one behind all that. So I can't 100% say, but I don't think that he may run away or he will. I can't say 100% because I don't know what is in mind, but I'm thinking that he's a political activist and he's most likely to stay in the country. I cannot say 100%, but he's most likely.
He's the regional chair of the largest opposition party.
Yes, I get it too, but his point is that because he's saying he's seeking asylum, it means that he's making an effort to run. But like you said, since he's the regional chairman, my thing is most probably he's not going to run. I mean, most probably, I cannot say 100%. I don't know what is in mind. He's most probably will not run away. So I think it would be good. I mean, other lawyers are saying, okay, why not? There have been people who have said things and they've been granted bail. So this is a misdemeanor. So if he's granted bail, it's not out of place. But I also think that what he says to him must also guard it. Because I recently heard some people apologizing and say what they said or what they did didn't go well. So I think if he has to apologize, he should. Because at times the politics in the heat of it, when people say things and do things. So I think that he needs to be talked to because at times some of the things against pastors, against some other people who have not even provoked or done anything to him. So although we want him to be given bail, he should also be spoken to in the quiet so that he knows how to say things. You can still do your politics. You can still criticize in a constructive way without necessarily attacking people's integrity, their image, and those things. So I think I pray that the Attorney General will intervene so that he's given bail because this is a misdemeanor. He shouldn't be encouraged to be saying things like that. But however, they shouldn't keep him there as a way of punishment. As a way of punishment, because that's how people will see it. And I know that even some of the NDC people, I don't want to quote some of them, they say, no, this is too much. Some of them, the NDC people. So I think that if the Attorney General intervenes and is giving bail, it will be good. But he must go to court and defend what he has said. But for the bail, I think that they must give him the bail. This one, and I don't want to say that some animals are more equal than others. It may be a fact, but I mean, the lawyers will say, the judge will say, you must be fair, seem to be fair. But when you say certain things, people will put a spin on it. So everybody is supposed to be equal before the law.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's what the Constitution says.
Yes. Yeah, so the judge can say, I've assessed your thing, and based on this and this, I think I want to remind you. That's okay. But we shouldn't make it...
I mean, was that not subject to his defense counsel? I mean...
Okay, that one I cannot say.
Because if you could not go in there and defend your client properly and then warrant the judge granting him bail, is that also not the case?
Okay, if the lawyer, his defense counsel were to be here, he would tell us, oh, he did well, he did whatever, he's here. There's a perception, you see. The perception is that if the people want to refuse to bail, it doesn't matter the way you go, we can lie on the floor.
Well, it's the discretion of the judge as well.
No, I mean, he has discretion. That one, I agree with him that the judges have discretion. And I can't fault their discretion. But I don't think that his lawyer would not want the person to get bail, would want to. So, but I don't know, I was not there in the court. I don't know how he went about his case, but I'm sure naturally, logically, he may want bail to be granted to her. But at times, the perception is that if they don't want to grant you bail, you may be quiet, show calm demeanor. If they won't grant you, they will grant you. And so, also, everybody's supposed to be equal before the law. The judge can say, based on my information gathered or whatever it is, I don't want to grant you bail now, but I'll ensure that the trial goes on speedily. Fine, but not to say that some are more equal than others.
Yes, but let's be fair to the judge. The judge didn't say that I'm refusing bail based on the fact that some are more equal than the others. The judge used the analogy to say that there are some people you can insult them, they will forgive you. There are some you can insult, they won't forgive you. There are some you insult and it carries nothing. There are some you insult that will carry so much weight. I will take it, if this is put in a law report, I will take this to be an obiter. It's a statement he's made. Then also, let me also help my brother here. It is, I mean, we had a former finance minister who is being wanted, who is a political activist, who is not in the country. We had a former Maslow lady who is not in the country. So for the mere fact that, not mere, for the fact, the strong one that you are a political activist is not necessarily the reason why you abscond. There are people ordinarily who are walking the streets that are granted bail. They may not abscond, but they will not attend court for trial. As I said, the only ground for granting bail is the ability of the person to return to court any day, any time that he's needed for trial to commence. That is the only ground. And the other things that you look at in considering this ground are things like absconding, having persons of reasonable means, independence, to stand sureties, to say that you will come. And you see, the courts go in various issues. You look at whether the person is gainfully employed, whether the person has children, maybe 2-3 years, teenager up to teenage years, that the person will not be willing to run away from those people, or the person has maybe an older mother. Things like that are the things that the courts will consider in granting bail. But beneath all this is the idea that it's the discretion of the judge. So it's the judge that will say that, hey, having looked at you today, you look so beautiful that I have to refuse you bail. He will look at you and say, and tell himself that, looking at this man, he looks like somebody I know before, Apala Hala. So it's the discretion. Yes, yes. And again, let me also say that the law is clear that bail shall not be used as a punishment. Bail shall not be used as a punishment. You see, all this that we are saying, the lawyers for Abronye that day include a former Attorney General, the minority leader, former MPP chairman, Freddie Blay. These three are solid big wigs that came to court that day. Now, you see, sometimes their presence can be awing, like it can make somebody be afraid of. It can make somebody also say, hey, before this, I still want to show you that this is where the power lies. I don't know if that went into the thinking of the judge. But if I were part of the team, I would have said, some of you can take the back bench. Let 1 or 2 do this, so that we don't appear to be that because we are here, we deserve to be, we are entitled to be.
From what we gather, I mean, especially the minority leader and then the former chairman of the NPP, they were there, I mean, to offer support and then to present themselves as sureties.
No, but if you read the court notes, you know, if he's with me in court and I stand up, if he's older than me at the bar, I'll say, Theophilus Jimega, for Lily, being led by a doctor. Okay, so, or if I am older than him, then at the bar, then I'll say Theophilus Jimega. With me is Dr. Hiabo. But if you read the court note, it stated the name of the lawyer and those leading and those with them.
Okay.
And they were all included. So it means they were not just there as sureties, they were there as part of the defense team.
Okay.
Yes, that's how it happens. So if, yes, they could be part of the defense team and offer surety. And again, Lily, let me use your platform to explain what a surety is. A surety is someone who will say that when you need the person anytime, I guarantee that the person will be there or I'll bring him. That's just a surety. Yes. And so they could equally be surety, but in that particular instance, by the court note, they were there as
part of the defense
team. Yes, that's what happened. Yeah.
Let me say that now what is happening is that bail shouldn't be used as punishment, like he said. But now with what is going on, people will perceive it as like, if this is not the case, they will perceive it as, hey, they want to punish this person for being so critical about the government. Then also the judge may say all animals are not equal, and you might take it periphery. But in a political charge environment, people will lunge at anything you say. You may have even a good intention, what you are saying is a fact, but people will lunge at it and say, no, that's the only thing they heard. You get it? So at times, even if he has this in his mind, he shouldn't remember that, because in the political charge environment, people will lunch. They'll forget about all the good things, all the laws you are bringing, all the things you are citing. They'll forget about it. So if he doesn't want to give him bail and he has a good reason, he just go ahead. Because in Ghana here, when you say something, they will take it out of... You see, every time people come to explain. This is not what I said. But I also agree that they should advise him, because he has been saying things. We don't want him to be kept there and as a way of punishing him. But however, he should also be advised. At times he goes, so let's say, I don't want to say off the script too much. Freedom of speech is there. That should be encouraged. Nobody should stifle it.
But it shouldn't be an avenue to go overboard.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. He shouldn't go overboard. I mean, he's noted for for at times going overboard. So that's what I'm saying, that they should advise him in the quiet. That, we all want to do the politics, but I think that this one, it's overboard. And also, we've not heard, maybe they're doing the quiet. Publicly, people say, oh, no, I think I support him, they should grant him bail, but I think these things, you shouldn't be saying it. That will also help, because at times, open rebuke is better than secret love. So I think that they should also talk to him, but I don't think they should use the bail also as a way of maybe silencing him.
Don't you think that it's something that's both political divide?
Oh, yeah, they all do it. They all do it. Our brother here knows. They all know how to do the game. They all play the game.
He says you know how to do it.
You can say that, Maybe he's an expert in the game. So they know how to do it. So for the politicians, they all do it to each other. So that when they can't pretend, time they'll pretend to make it look like this one we have not seen before, we have not heard, but they know. And they know. They do it all the time. So they know. They have their philosophy quietly. Do me and do you. So that one they know. Yes.
Okay, so we're joined by Kwesi Botwe Jr. Esquire. He is aide to Dr. Baumi and a member of the NPP communications team. Counsel, you are late, but you're welcome.
Apologies for being late. There was a matter that required my urgent attention. So good morning to you, good morning to Counsel and Reverend. I was actually monitoring the discussion, and I have to start by saying that Counsel started on a very good note, but ended on a political note, which is fine. But you see, Lily, an erroneous impression has been created that insulting somebody requires, attention or action from law enforcement agency. Insulting somebody is not a crime. The remedy for insulting anybody lies in a civil suit. If, Lily, you here, you feel insulted by something I say, your remedy lies in a defamation suit. You cannot write a complaint to the police to say that Kwesi Botwe has insulted me, and so arrest Kwesi Botwe and prosecute Kwesi Botwe. That's not how the law works. Like they say, the law is the law. That is not the position of the law. What the law says is that if you feel insulted, defamed, or you feel your character has been injured by another person, what you do is to institute a defamatory suit against the person to tell the court to, let's say, award you some damages against the person for defaming your character or your reputation. But it's not to write to the police. And so if a if a citizen cannot write to the police to tell the police to arrest somebody or another person for insulting him or her, then why should the IGP be able to use the police to, let me say, seek a remedy for being insulted or for being defamed by another person? But you see, I restrain myself from going into the details of this matter because it's my law firm handling the matter, and so I am indirectly involved in this matter, and so I'll not go into the details of the matter. But you see, from the judge, from his ruling, clearly admitted that the matter has to do with insulting the IGP. Now we know, and it is clear for everybody to see, that the matter involved is that Abronye is alleged to have insulted the IGP. The judge goes on to quote Robert Mugabe, which in fact the quote appears to be rather from Idi Amin, a dictator, to say that he can guarantee your freedom of speech but cannot guarantee your freedom after speech. The judge goes ahead to quote the Animal Farm Book to say that all persons may be equal, but in practice all persons are not actually equal. The Constitution guarantees freedom of speech and freedom after speech. Let's be clear on that. Again, the Constitution guarantees that all persons, irrespective of race, caliber, stature, are equal before the law. If I have a matter with the president and we go to court, in the courtroom, the president and I, we are equal people.
Okay.
The law is no respecter of persons.
Sure.
And again, the court is a court of law. The court is not a court of morals. What may be morally wrong may not necessarily be illegal. There are so many moral wrongs that are not illegal, activities. And so, when it comes to matters of law, I'll plead with counsel. Let's put the politics aside and let's discuss the law of the matter. And that is why you find several, senior lawyers criticizing the ruling of the court. In fact, this is a person's liberty we are talking about, for Christ's sake. For 7 good days, this is a person's liberty. Let's put politics aside. How do you remand somebody on the basis that all persons are said to be equal, but in practice all persons are not equal?
Was that the judge's ruling?
Yes, you see, I listened to counsel. Counsel was trying to play the legal gymnastics by saying there is the ratio and
then the arbiter.
There is the arbiter. But you see, the point is that in law, he said we are not the law. There are authorities that judges and lawyers base their argument on to make propositions and to make statements. The judge, in concluding or in remanding Abronye, cited Section 96 of Act 30, cited the quote by wrongly attributed to Mugabe, and cited the Animal Farm Book. These are the 3 authorities the judge cited in his ruling. The first authority, the one by Robert Mugabe or the one by Idi Amin, it's not a quote that can be... I do not think that a quote from a dictator can be said to be an authority in a democratic court in Ghana. Ghana, we practice democracy. Everybody knows that Idi Amin was not a democratic...
Today is actually International Day of Democracy.
Everybody knows that Idi Amin was not a democratic leader. So why do you try to quote a statement from Idi Amin to buttress the reason why you would want to restrict somebody or would want to remand somebody? Number 2, the book by the Animal Farm Book can also not be said to be an authority in legal jurisprudence. In any case, our constitution is clear that our constitution is the supreme law of the land. And so the Animal Farm Book can never and cannot and should not be seen to be overriding provisions of the 1992 Constitution. That is clearly, that is an illegality. Lily, that is an illegality. And so the point I am trying to make is that the judge, whether that was the obiter or that was the ratio or whatsoever, for the fact that the judge quoted these 2, provisions, I do not think that it was proper, in my humble and respected opinion. But I will restrain myself from again going into the details of the matter because the matter is still pending in court. And so our fate still lies in the hands of the judge. And so I will restrain myself from going into the details of the matter. But then what is happening now is clear for everybody to see that what is happening today is politics rather than law. Because it is very difficult for you to legally understand exactly what is going on. For saying that Abronye should be remanded for almost 10 days for insulting the IGP.
If I say the IGP is corrupt and the IGP feels he is not corrupt, what must the IGP do? Must the IGP cause my arrest? Is that the kind of republic we are living in now? And so let's just take this scenario. If I say the IGP is corrupt, the IGP can make the police arrest me. But excuse me, if I say council is corrupt, the council cannot get the police to arrest me. What kind of republic are we living in? Let's be fair to each and every person. Let's respect the laws. If we say we are practicing a democracy, we are practicing rule of law, the tenets of rule of law suggests that all persons are equal before the law. Let's stop the attempt to use state security and state apparatus to intimidate members of the opposition. Do you think if Abronye's government was to be in power, this could have happened? This is clear. It's clearly a matter of politics. Council tries to equate that to Bulldog saying that President Akufo-Addo will not end this term. Saying somebody will not end this term is not an insult, it's a threat. These are two different things. You cannot sue somebody in a civil court for threatening you. That lies with the police. You understand the point I'm trying to make? But if somebody tells you that, let's say President Bulldog had said that President Akufo-Addo is a thief, then that would be a defamatory comment. So these are two, separate things that I think that as lawyers we should be careful when we are trying to play around this matters. But generally, my position is that what is happening today to Abronye is more of politics than law.
Okay.
It is more of politics than law, and so let's not go into the matters. I am aware lawyers are taking measures to,
and the Attorney General
advise.
has taken.
I don't know how.
Can he help us charges?
I don't know.
I don't know
what
Abronye is being charged
Well,
with.
since he says, okay,
Yes,
maybe
yes. No, the charges.
It's a matter of public knowledge.
No, let's know.
It's a
I
matter
don't
of
know.
public. If you have read the ruling, like you clearly admitted this morning, Council, you know the charges that Abronye has been.
So of course, Abronye was not charged for insulting. That's what I want you to.
Because there is no law in our criminal books or in our criminal jurisprudence to prosecute people for insulting. But the judge in his ruling admitted, we have all read the ruling, admitted that in fact, Council, you even mentioned that the judge said there are some people, when you insult, they will make you go free, and other people, when you insult, they will take action against you. And so the matter is about insulting somebody, clearly. But in any case, what has Abronye even done to warrant the fact that his conduct is conducive to the breach of peace of this country? Except to say that he has undermined the leader of the police service. Okay? And that is the reason why Abronye is standing trial or Abronye is being prosecuted. But everybody knows that. And in fact, the judge even admitted that Abronye is in court for insult. In fact, the judge even went ahead to say that the politics of insult, blah, 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 the remedy for politics of insult does not lie with our criminal justice system. You understand? The criminal libel law was repealed years ago.
Yeah.
Ghana has gone past those days. You see, but it looks as if this government, because of its revolutionary background, is always trying to the Rawlings Part 1 is still in them. The revolutionary and the militarism and the intimidation of citizens is still within their genes and their DNA. But they should take their time. We are now in a democratic dispensation. People have the right to speak their mind. In as much as you disagree with them,
but people
they have
equally
the right to speak
had
their
a
mind.
right to demonstrate, but they were arrested and remanded.
That is a different matter.
But you said people have a right. I'm equally telling you.
We are not talking about demonstrations here. We are talking about the freedom of expression.
And freedom of people.
And demonstration is part of freedom of expression.
You see. I would not want to be dragged into the conversation of freedom of demonstration. We would have that conversation if that is on the table. We are currently talking about the liberties of Abronye, and that Abronye has been detained. And in my opinion, the detention is unlawful.
Okay.
That is my opinion. In as much as we are trying to use the court system to legalize it and to make it lawful, in my opinion, the detention, it's unlawful. I was actually scandalized after reading the court ruling. I was so scandalized. Because I do not think that anybody deserves, this kind of treatment. I don't think anybody deserves this kind of treatment. If Abronye has insulted anybody, we may all disagree that we do not subscribe to people insulting other persons. I am against
anybody insulting another person. I do not think that you need to insult somebody to make your point.
Yeah.
But that does not also mean that insulting somebody is a criminal offense. Insulting somebody is not a criminal offense in our criminal jurisprudence. Unless counsel can be able to point to me the a provision of our criminal, act that suggests that insulting somebody is a criminal offense. And so, Lily, as I land, let's tread cautiously. Let's tread cautiously. And I say, let's tread cautiously. The executive should not be seen to be romancing the judiciary. Let's be very careful in this country. The executive should not be seen to be romancing the judiciary. It is a dangerous precedent for the executive to be seen to be romancing the judiciary. The executive should do its job. The legislature should do its job. But in this instance, is it the executive? It's the IGP. The police is the IGP is a member of the executive. Okay. The IGP is a member of the executive.
How is he a
member? The police service is a force under the executive arm of government. It is not up for a debate. And that is why it is the vice president who is the chairman of the police council.
So you think that they do not act independently?
The executive arm of government.
So you think they don't act independently?
I am saying that the executive should not be seen to be romancing the judiciary. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
Because if a private citizen, like Wesiboche Jr., I cannot get the police to arrest anybody who insults me. Why should the IGP be entitled to that? The IGP and I, we are equal. The only difference between the two of us is that he has the privilege to serve the nation as the Inspector General of Police, and I do not have such a privilege. It is a privilege to serve. It is not as if you have the privilege to serve, then you become greater than all men. No, you are not greater than all men. You cannot be greater than all men.
Okay.
Lily, can I reply, please? Because a few things were,
so that I can take a break.
Few things were mentioned about NDC. I mean, I, with respect to my younger brother, I think he has forgotten all of a sudden when the likes of Kenewu were arrested and jailed. He also mentioned the fact that the whole charge is about insulting. No, he says he somehow mentioned Section 208 and 207, which says for publication of false news. That is why he's in court. He's not in court because he's insulting. Then I want to humbly tell him that the police do not form any part of the executive. The police is not a part of the executive. Nowhere. At least that is common thing that we all know. Again, we were in this country. If we want to talk about romance between the judiciary and the executive, where an application was filed by 12 o'clock, by 2 o'clock, the Supreme Court was assembled and they were able to give ruling even on days that they don't sit. And today we are talking about romanticizing. Lily, we were here when a whole president said that he heard people condemning, journalists condemning free SHS, and they shouldn't be talking about free SHS. That time we didn't know. It's good you talk to him about freedom of expression. Let me tell my junior brother, demonstration is part of freedom of expression. Finally, there is something which I want him to go with all respect and read. Inarticulate major premise. There are some things that are not written but are part of law. Okay. They work on everybody. Lily, let me give an example. You come in here this morning and you took an Uber and the driver is called Theophilus and the driver was rude to you. And you come to meet me and I'm Theophilus. Lily, you will not hug me. The idea that you met a Theophilus that was wrong, that was rude to you, would have already just popped up to you to say that.
The idea that I met a Theophilus who probably was a Voltairean.
Yes, would have popped out to you to say that, hey, no, this Theophilus will be like the other Theophilus. So it's a major premise that is not written anywhere. That very good practitioners know behind the scene. That all this, that is why you don't go to court with all your bravado. To think that this is what there are things that work at the back of the system that you need to play to. That is why when you go to certain areas, they try to know the background of the judge, whether it's a naturalist, it's a positivist, etc. Before you hear the United States always saying we have appointed a conservative to the bench, etc. Why do you think they do that? It's a major promise, but they can't write that I am writing because I am a conservative judge. Again, let's be fair to that judge. In the ruling, he says that per section 96.5, if the court thinks that there is likelihood that the accused person will commit similar offense when he can be on bail, refuse him bail. The judge said that. Then the judge went on to say that if there's a likelihood that the accused person may appear before the court can also, may not appear, the court can also refuse him bail. All the beautiful things the judge said about Mugabe, about Animal Farm, were not the reasons for refusing bail. He said it clearly. So we can, again, let me help here. The judge can just write, application refused, accused remanded until so and so. All this would have ended. I've listened to the defense, listened to the prosecution. I am not convinced to grant this bail. It still boils down to the discretion of the judge. You can be scandalized about everything. There are certain rulings you pick, you read. There was even a ruling matrimonial case. The judge said, seeing the lady come in and out of court every day, she has used the beauty of Eve that God created. Is that the reason why we say that's why the court granted divorce? No, that's not it. They make all sort of statements that, again, I give an example. A judge said that even the biblical Job will not forgive such a woman in this situation. Is that the reason? No. She's only importing other things. They make our reading sometimes long. You go and pick a ruling from, let's say, Malawi. I pick a ruling from Malawi on a case. It was just 3 pages. And I told myself, this case in Ghana would have been 24 pages. They would have taken it up, down, side, north, camp. But this guy just wrote small, and everything was captured in.
Okay.
So we should not focus on the fact that he mentioned Orwellian, he mentioned Mugabe or Idi Amin. That is not it. He mentioned exactly 96.5. Those are the reasons.
Okay.
Again, let us not say that.
Hold on,
he's
George.
asking that.
I said George. Kwesi.
NDC.
Well, I want to say
George
Joel.
I mean, we have all been in this country. We have seen things that have happened for the last 8 years when it comes to freedom of expression. Let us not go there.
Okay. Okay. Kwesi, I'll come to you. I need to take a break.
Just a minute before you go. Just a minute.
Okay.
Kindly, just a minute.
Okay.
Council makes the point that the police is not part of the executive. This is totally wrong, with the greatest of respect. The police is under the Ministry of Interior. The Ministry of Interior is part of the executive. And so the police is part of the executive. This is not even.
Can you say Ghana Education Service is part of the executive?
Yes, they are part of the executive. You can cross check. They are not. But the police is part of the executive.
No, they are not.
You can cross check. You know you can cross. Again. Lily,
I need to take a break. I'll be back. Sure. You're welcome back from that break. This is still your perfect morning companion on television, GHOne, still the breakfast review. My guests are still seated. Theophilus Jumega Jr. Esquire, Kwesi Boche Jr. Esquire. Wow, battle of the Esquires this morning. And then Reverend Dr. Godsinger Hiabo. We've been discussing the continuous remand of Abronia, but let's talk about Kwesi. You had something to say before I went on the break.
Yes, again.
I'll give you that 1 minute, and then Rev, if you have anything to say on that, I'll give you that 1 minute.
Council made a point that there are certain things which are not necessarily captured in law, but form part of our society, and so. You see, when it comes to matters of criminal nature, everything must be prescribed in the law. In fact, if you look at Article 1911, when with your indulgence, I'll read briefly. No person shall be convicted of a criminal offense unless the offense is defined and the penalty for it is prescribed in a written law. And so if something is not written, it cannot be part of our criminal jurisprudence, and for which reason a person cannot stand prosecution for same. And Abronye's matter, for now, we know it's a criminal matter, and for which reason he's standing prosecution. And so the offense for which he has committed must be clearly stated in the law. You see, there are so many things I have to say, and in fact, so many things that needs to be said about Abronye's matter. But because of the fact that my firm is involved in this matter, I would want to restrain myself, and so let's pause it.
Okay, Rev, do you have anything to say on this, or we can move on?
Oh, you can move on. Let's move on.
Okay, so let's talk about Dr. Bawumia. Once again, he's apologizing to the NPP and Ghanaians. And I am wondering, this will be about the fifth time Dr. Bawumia is apologizing. Chrissy, you are aide to Dr. Bawumia. Why is Dr. Bawumia apologizing again?
Thank you very much. In fact, on a Monday morning like this, I think that in fact, we were in Kumasi. We were in Kumasi from Wednesday to Saturday to talk to delegates and to talk to the NPP constituency executives in the Ashanti region. You know, the flag bearership contest is a delegate election. We are only appealing to a section of Ghanaians. But the number of delegates involved in this contest is just about 300,000. And so I would not want to discuss such a matter on live TV this morning when Galamsey is destroying our water bodies.
We'll talk about Galamsey.
When I'll come there, I'm making a point. When the executive is romancing the judiciary to intimidate political opponents. And so all what I'll say about what you just asked is that Dr. Bawumia, in his capacity as vice president, felt there are so many things this government got right, and so many things this government didn't get right. In fact,
the previous government, you mean?
The previous government, the NPP administration. In fact, if you look at the Okwe report, you look at the NPP Ashanti regional report, you look at the Conrad report, and so many, the Musa Dankwa report, and so many other things. It points to one irresistible conclusion that Ghanaians were angry with some of the decisions the NPP administration made. For instance, Ghanaians said no e-levy, we brought e-levy. They said no betting tax, we brought betting tax. They said reshuffle, we said we'll not reshuffle, and so many other issues that Ghanaians were not happy with the new patriotic party. And that is why about 2.1 million voters who voted for the NPP in 2020 did not vote for the NPP in 2024. In fact, these 2.1 million voters did not vote for the NDC either in the 2024 elections. They decided not to vote at all. And so the NDC's vote as compared to 2020 as compared to 2024 only increased by 100,000. That means that if our 2.1 million people who voted for us in 2020 had voted for us in 2024, the NPP would have had a chance in the 2024 elections. And so clearly that tells us that Ghanaians were not happy with us. And so if somebody is not happy with you as a gentleman, what do? You apologize.
But this would be about the
You apologize. Time. Dr. Bawumia is a humble personality who doesn't have any problem apologizing.
Okay.
But like I said, today it's a day that, it's a day for democracy. And so on a better day, I'm sure we'll come and then we'll discuss Dr. Bawumia and the MPP very well. But today, whilst learned colleague is here and Reverend is here, I'm sure Reverend is interested in our water bodies that are being destroyed.
We're all interested.
With babies, with pregnant women giving birth to babies with deformities and so on. I'm sure Council is also interested in how they promised us that they were going to repeal LI 2462. But as of now, they have still not repealed it. And so I'll pause Dr. Bawumia's matter for now. Let's discuss matters that borders on the entire nation and not something that borders on just about 300,000 delegates, which is just, an insignificant portion of the total population of this country.
But those delegates will decide on Dr. Bawumia.
And I'm saying if there's anything that we have to tell those delegates, we'll go to the delegates. I know for instance, if we take my constituency, Wejagbawe, I know where all the delegates live. And so if there's something I want to tell the delegates, with the greatest of respect, I'll not come and sit on live TV to talk to the delegates. I'll go to their homes. But I'll discuss matters that affect the entire nation on national television. The MPP internal election is a delegates election. And so we'll focus on the delegates. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's your position.
Right.
Let me again help my brother here. In the famous case of Abalifu versus the Attorney General, he might be young, but he would have read it. That was when money was stolen from Obeda Samuel's room. The court held that a party such as the NDC was a potential party that will form government, which will affect the whole nation. So a party that is selecting its flag bearer is a potential government in waiting, which will affect all of us. So whatever over 300,000 people will do is likely to affect all of us. So for him to say that it is not something that will affect all or we need to discuss, let me differ. We have to discuss it. Let's bring it on table. It's interesting that for the past 8 months that this government has been in power, let me use the word expression 8 months, somebody was pregnant for the past 8 months and had given birth within the past 8 months. And it's interesting that we couldn't trace where the person got pregnant and given birth, which was in the other government. That is not to say I want to belittle whatever is happening. No, that is, I won't do that. I'm a mining engineer. I won't do that. Let us bring the issue back to table. This was the same government, as he alluded to. They were asked to reshuffle. They refused. They were asked. They were told about the e-levy. It was apart from that was done in 1974, for which they did a serious governmental PR. Even VAT, they didn't do that PR. E-levy was one that PR was done. Even every district, they were having town hall meetings for just e-levy, something that everybody was resisting. They said, we'll do it. And then they were telling us it was the best. He mentioned Galamsey. Even when they were talking about Galamsey, they were saying, no, we are doing the right thing, for which we will continue. We were all in this country. Now, unfortunately, when Bawumia was apologizing, he started by saying vice president, board chairman, ministers, other appointees. Nicely leaving out the head of government then as part of people whom he was apologizing for. Is it a situation now he's telling us he's inheriting all the ills of that government, for which reason tomorrow he won't tell us that he's trying to shy away from the ills of the government? The same Bawumia told us when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, then opposition leader, talked about being given the second chance, that the presidency is not a part for which you will come and make corrections. It's not an area for which you will come and apologize and make corrections. Today, we need to give him that chance to make corrections. No, it won't happen. Senepa and Baswe. Number 3. No, Senepa and Baswe.
Thank you very much.
Now, you, bro, let me get my
train of thoughts together.
Train of thoughts together. We were part of this country where he gave us litany of things they've done better than the NDC.
Okay.
Litany of things they've done. When it comes to free SHS, we've done better. When it comes to this, we've done better. Now we've done all those things better than the NDC, yet you were not accepted. I want to say that for the first time, I've heard an NPP person admitting to the work of Musa Dankwa for the first time. For the first time. And I will say that for that, I commend you. For the first time. He said it.
I'm
that
not
if you
admitting anything of anybody. I'm saying Musa Dankwa conducted a survey. That is not an
But
admission.
it
The
means
fact that he conducted a survey is a matter of public knowledge. That does not mean That does not mean.
But haven't you taken that into consideration in gathering the things that went wrong?
I am saying Musa Dankwa conducted a survey. That is the survey he conducted. And I'm saying,
but has Dr. Bawumia? Let me ask you this.
The only reason why I referred to that was because his findings, corroborated what other research findings had also,
Okay, so let me ask you this. Has Dr. Bawumia taken that into consideration as well in putting in place what he would do for the future?
I'm sure when Dr. Bawumia spoke in the video, he didn't reference Musa Dankwa.
No, I'm asking you that since you mentioned him,
with regards to Musa Dankwa's research.
Yes, and on all other surveys.
The NPP doesn't have any issue with Musa Dankwa.
Okay.
Musa Dankwa is a researcher, is a poster, who is, actually trying his best and doing his job. The NPP as a political party or Dr. Bawumia as a person does not have any problem with Musa Dankwa or anybody. Musa Dankwa is a researcher. We respect him. He's doing his job for the nation and all that. We don't have any problem with him.
Granted. Please.
I also want to help my brother that he mentioned the fact that there were 2.1 million voters. If I heard him clearly, that didn't come out to vote. You see, one of the strategies and the belief of NDC had always been those 2.1 million voters never existed. Never existed. Okay. So the strategy was to plug the hole and match them booth for booth in the areas where the so-called 2.1 million voters come from. And that was one of our strategies. Okay. And we were vindicated to show that the figures that they claim they always churn out actually never existed. So if they are going to be waiting for those 2.1 million voters to have come out to vote, it will never happen. Those numbers don't exist. And it is for this reason that I will say that, and let me use the opportunity to again say, rest well, Dr. Amani-Boama. We are forever grateful to you for the work you did for our election. Okay. So I want to assure my brother that if the election is held today, those 2.1 million voters will never surface. Okay. It is not about. But there is something bigger than why Dr. Bawumia is apologizing. My brother also referenced.
Counsel, you've spoken for over.
My brother also.
You decide not to talk about it.
No. But Lily, I think that there are matters that
Kwesi, it is my show.
We are in opposition.
It is my show. Allow him. It is his time. So whatever he wants to say, allow him.
Okay, then I will take the rest of my time to discuss Galamsey.
Don't worry, I have it on my topic. So don't worry.
Kwesi, learn something. If you are talking, I keep quiet so nicely.
Counsel, you interjected me about 2-3 times. Counsel,
please allow him so we can have time to talk about Galamsey. Thank you.
I mean, the bigger picture is the internal issues that were coming up. Recently, we were told about Aka Naimpe, that they are trying to find the night. And recently, we were also told about Fine X, for the fact that if it has taken so much years for 1 million votes to be brought back, how much longer will it take the number of years for those 1 million votes to be brought back to the NPP? Okay. The idea of apologizing is not genuine one. He is not apologizing genuinely. He would have apologized genuinely pre-2024 election. Okay. If the apology, it means that with all the security apparatus at his disposal, with all the intelligence, with all their own internal opinion polls and research, Dr. Bawumia then in 2024 didn't see that he needed to apologize. I would say the apology of Dr. Bawumia is not genuine.
Okay. Rev.
Yeah, let me say that no party owns voters. Whether 1 million, 2.1, nobody owns voters. And if people don't come to vote, they may have their reason. Sure. So nobody should think that we have voters in our pockets, so anytime we want them, we just release them. Nobody, no party, NDC, NPP, nobody owns voters. And personally, I see Ghana's election always as a referendum on the one who is in power. Okay. So if the one who is in power does well, it gives an advantage to whoever will succeed the person. So it's a referendum on the one in power. And at times, the economy is one of the biggest things people look at. Unemployment, posture of people, corruption, arrogance of power, and some other things. So if Bawumia wants to apologize and it is sincere, thank God. But I would have wished he stated the things that he wants to apologize on. He can't state all, but the major thing, DDP like this is the major thing. So mention the key things and then apologize that this thing, we had it wrong. Next time from hindsight, we will do it this way to be better. So forgive me or forgive us. And then we'll do better. So if somebody has done a lot of things against you, really, and then say, so forgive me on all that, which are the all? You want to know if the person really has repented genuinely.
It's not genuine.
I mean, I don't know. Me, I'm just saying my voice. If the person repented genuinely, oh, really? The last time I did this, I said this, I realized this is not, I went off. So I'm apologizing for this. Then you know, okay. But someone wants to hide and say, oh, I apologize for if I've wronged you. You know, people generally, when people are in power, they're living, if I've wronged anybody, they should forgive me, blah, 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 blah. Those are just genuine things. So if you really want to be...
But I'm sure that, I mean, since you are elderly people,
yes,
in our tradition, do you apologize on behalf of your elder?
Okay. I would say yes and no, but ideally, the person, you see, apology must come from somebody who has done something and has shown remorse. You have repented, then you come and apologize. That should be it. So if maybe, you know, somebody can go and hire lawyers who come and say this on my behalf. So for that one is there. But if the person genuinely is wrong and says, I'm sorry, the person can get somebody to do it. But just that we don't know whether
this was sanctioned by President Akufo-Addo.
So that one we don't know.
Exactly.
And I cannot say. But generally, somebody can apologize on somebody's behalf. People can send them every time. Oh, go and do this on my behalf. So that one here is done. But just I don't know in this case whether he had the permission.
If you ask me the same question, I'll say you apologize on behalf of the elderly. You don't have a chief going to apologize for you. It's either the Ochami or one of the kingmakers or one of the elders that will apologize on behalf of the chief.
Okay. Let's talk about Galamsey. I don't have enough time. Let's talk about Galamsey. Environmentalists are questioning why, as a government, the government has failed to declare a state of emergency, especially as the government of the day, while in opposition, clearly campaigned on the back of that, especially the fight against illegal mining. President Mahama, during his media encounter, said, in response to a question posed by our very own Joshua Kojo-Mensah, that will be the last resort. What is the failure, again, in government's declaration of a state of emergency? Council, let me ask you.
Lily, I wish we were doing a one-on-one. I would have asked you, what is the state of emergency supposed to achieve? And we have instances in the world where I will tell you where we have state of emergencies declared and what happened. Duterte, who was the former Philippines leader, he declared a state of emergency in Manila to fight drug war, and he extended it across country. And soldiers were killing. As we speak today, Duterte is in Hague to stand trial for arbitrary killings and things done under him. Now, I ask you the question, what is the state of emergency hoping to achieve? But before I answer that question for you, the NDC, either by manifesto or by its flag bearer, who is now the president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, had at no time said they were going to declare a state of emergency. At no time. I challenge you. You can use the whole year.
I am not saying that you were calling at the time.
No,
the NDC.
I am saying that. Again, I will ask you if you can get that. It will help me. But at no time we had the plans that will deal with Galamsey. The president is saying that there are other things we need to do before we get to the state of emergency. Lily, when a state of emergency is declared, a lot of your rights, almost all your human rights, are curtailed. There are people within areas of Galamsey that are doing good job. They are doing law-abiding, going by their work every day. You want us to use the state of emergency to brush all of them, that everybody will remain and not to do anything. Now, I want to draw your attention to a few things that are currently happening. Now, as part of the efforts to keep Galamsey, there are 400 excavators that have been seized. Over 1,400 arrests have been made and prosecution ongoing. Over 300 shamfans have been confiscated. 900 water pumps have been confiscated. 9 previously no-go area forest zones have been cleared, and now we are going to those areas. And just last 2 weeks, the minister has written to the Attorney General to initiate the processes to repeal the LI. That is the big thing that they are saying. So the president is saying, we are making efforts. Let us use those efforts until the efforts are no longer successful. Then we may consider the declaration of state of emergency. You see, we are the agency with which we have tackled this thing. I am a bit surprised that someone will say, oh, we are just in government 8 months and we've not been able to do all these things, which is a systemic, endemic thing that has spanned a period longer than 8 months, which could not be curtailed. But the efforts that have been put in place today, and with, as we are talking there is a team going around educating and training people on responsible mining. We cannot by any way, before the white man came, our people were doing galamsey. It is the type of galamsey we are doing today. The chamfans, the excavators, that is what is the issue. But prior to that, it was just pickers and shovel that we were doing. So it is not an idea that declare a state of emergency. To achieve what? That is the end. To achieve what? That is what we need to look at. That is why the president is saying, hold on, let us do all our other steps we are taking. If we have failed in those areas, then we'll declare a state of emergency. I think that is understandable.
Okay. I'll come to you, Rev. Kwesi, let me come to you.
Thank you very much, Lily. On the matter of galamsey, I think that it will be very difficult for President Mahama to solve galamsey. You know why? Because his DCs are involved. Some political appointees are involved. In fact, some members of this government are deeply involved in the galamsey menace, and so it will be very difficult for President Mahama to tackle galamsey. But you see, in all of this, I think that, in fact, to start with, the truth is like pregnancy. Whatever you do, no matter how long it takes, it will come out. And God is exposing President Mahama for his double standardness, for his hypocrisy, and for his lies. With regards to the matters involving galamsey, do you know the amount of money that have been spent on the fight against galamsey within the last 8 months? With the inauguration of the Blue Water Guards, who are receiving about 1,200 cedis a month, about 490 or 80 of them. The inauguration of the interministerial coordination against illegal mining, the IMOS or the NIMOS or whatever they call it. The amount of money that have been spent within the last 8 months, and in fact, the lives that have been lost within the last 8 months. Our own respected friends and senior colleagues, Dr. Omane Boama, and the other colleagues, they lost their lives in the quest to fight against illegal mining. So the amount of money and the number of lives that have been lost has just gone down the drain. Today, you go to Bole, the president's backyard, people are mining and doing galamsey in their bedrooms. Go to Bole today, people are doing galamsey in their bedrooms. Yes. People are mining indiscriminately.
We cannot independently.
You go to the Adansi Enclave. I am just coming from the Adansi Enclave. I was there last Thursday. People are mining and doing galamsey as if there is no tomorrow. Okay. And I'm told these are people allegedly aligned to the NDC. Okay. In any case.
And they started 8 months ago.
In any case. Is that?
They started 8 months ago.
Yeah, you are in any case, investors are sorry, don't call your colleague. Posted a video some time back that the constituency chairman for NDC somewhere around Obuasi prevented police officers and military officers from assessing an illegal mining concession. And so members of this government are deeply involved, and so President Mahama cannot fight it. In fact, the last time the Attorney General referred the NDC national organizer, one of their vice chairpersons, to Yoko, what has become of that matter? Nothing.
But how do you determine? How do you determine nothing has happened to it?
When Muntumi was arrested, when Muntumi was invited and arrested by Yoko, did you see what happened about it? Your deputy AG put out a statement on his ex Twitter to say that as part of the reasons why Raymond Acha arrested Muntumi, galamsey and illegal mining was one of the reasons why he was arrested. Anyway, let me make my point.
That is actually true.
Anyway, let me make my point. Like I'm saying, today you go to the president's hometown, people are mining. People are doing galamsey at Bole. Does President Mahama feel proud when he goes to his hometown? Does he feel proud as an indigenous of Bole?
You go ahead.
People are mining in Bole today. You see, the entire Galamsey fight, if the president wants to end Galamsey today, he will end it. He will end it. He is the man with the exact... was this not the same thing Sam John told us in opposition? That if President Akufo-Addo wanted to end Galamsey today, he would end it. If President Mahama wants to end Galamsey today, he will end it.
Okay.
I do not think that we need any collective effort in fighting Galamsey. It is the NDC's problem. They have to fix it. If they have the executive power,
don't you then think that President Mahama is right to say that I have other things that will end the Galamsey? State of emergency is the last resort.
President Mahama, in fact, Council makes the point that the NDC never promised the state of emergency. They didn't need to promise a state of emergency. Your foreign minister, your today Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Honorable Kofi Amabua, who I have a lot of respect for. In fact, in opposition, called on President Akufo-Addo to declare a state of emergency. What has changed now? What has changed now? Today you go to the Ofen
Was that not the
River.
last? Was that not the last resort? Because Akufo-Addo had 8 years. He had deployed all the means.
It is not a matter of 8 years. So should we wait until all our
but
river
you
bodies
are saying that
the
then Lands and Natural Resources Minister
you see,
asked for a declaration of a state of emergency. President Akufo-Addo had deployed all the means.
I am not even interested in whether or not a state of emergency should be declared. My point is that Galamsey must be solved.
Okay.
The illegal mining must be solved. But the government is a complicit, and so they cannot solve it. Do you know where the government is getting their gold from? Do you know where they are getting their gold from?
And you can say on authority that they are getting it from illegal mining.
Some of their goods are some of their
is that backed by any research? You have
no, but where are they getting their gold from?
But you have facts, Kwesi.
Okay.
You know this is national television.
Okay, granted, without admitting that I don't have any facts, I'm asking you.
I don't know. And
no, you see, I'm asking a rhetorical question that where does government through their gold board get their gold from?
Is that by then an assumption that they get it from illegal mining?
Because this government tells us that they are fighting illegal mining. However, you go to the surrounding, river banks, and all have been turned into something else. Galamsey is ongoing. I'm just telling them, I'm just coming from the Adanse enclave. Galamsey is ongoing, and it is because this government is a complicit.
Okay.
This government is a complicit. There are not NDC people involved in Galamsey.
Okay.
And
granted.
Today, there's the perception that the headquarters of Galamsey now is the Jubilee House. The headquarters of Galamsey now is the Jubilee House. Yes.
And you have evidence to this. You have evidence.
I don't need to have evidence because when MPP was in government.
No, but you cannot say something without evidence.
Let me make my point kindly.
Go ahead.
Let me make my point. When the MPP was in government, we were told that President Mahama was the chief and President Akufo-Addo was the chief enabler of Galamsey. Because if he wants to solve Galamsey today, he can solve it. Today we are in opposition.
Okay.
It is not the opposition's job to fight Galamsey.
Okay.
Dr. Bawumia is not the president to fight Galamsey. MPP, we are not in government to fight Galamsey. It is the job of the NDC and President Mahama to fight Galamsey.
Right.
And so if they have failed, we have to replay the playbook to them.
Okay.
And I am saying that today the headquarters of Galamsey is the Jubilee House.
Okay.
Because appointees of the NDC are deeply involved in Galamsey.
No.
They are deeply
Just
involved in
before
Galamsey.
Doctor comes in.
That's what issue licenses.
Just before Doctor,
I don't have enough time.
I have fast check you.
Lily,
As
I conclude, the opposition does not issue licenses. The opposition does not have the powers to revoke anybody's license. The opposition does not have powers to make any executive, decisions.
Okay.
Just like the President Mahama and the NDC is using the police to intimidate their political opponents. They should use the police to stop Galamsey.
Okay.
That is the
Really
most
quick
important
fact
thing.
check. I fact check you. I check on Justice Remsai's X handle. He said that he's been under investigation for various criminal offenses, including fraud, causing financial loss to the state, and money laundering. No Galamsey. The Galamsey thing was police headquarters. I wanted to explain that to you. Number two, Rastus Asaredonko said that NDC is listening to him more than the MPP. I want to go on. Haji Alima, who was a minister for local government.
After this, I'll have my right of
Haji Alima, you see, Lily, control your program, with all respect to you.
Please go ahead.
Haji Alima, who was a minister for local government, won DCEs and MMDCs who were involved in Galamsey. Now we had a Frimpong Boateng report. We talk about Galamsey. We have all that. We have Charles Bissiou, etc., who are being prosecuted for Galamsey. The question you asked, and it was that why couldn't they have done it if it was easier for them to have done it? And today they are positioning themselves on the moral high ground to say that you should have done it this way, that way. Come on, we cannot take lessons if we are in a church. We cannot take lessons from a fetish priest about what to do about church.
Okay, Rev.
Yeah, what I can say is that
Lily, before Rev comes,
I'm
not speaking to the point. I'm just saying, I'm just making a passing comment. Lily, I'm just making a kindly, please.
Okay.
After speaking, council spoke first, and then I spoke.
Please allow
and then
Rev.
he replied.
Please
So I also
Rev.
have my right of reply to
Rev.
council.
Rev, please go ahead.
Yeah, from my observation, the current government has done better than the previous government in terms of the fight against Galamsey.
Okay.
But I still think that he can still do better. That's what the environmentalists are calling for. We just want the thing to stop. Pollution of the water, bodies, the soil, and things. He can still increase the momentum. He has started well. Even, like he said, Rasul said, this government has done little better than the previous one.
Okay.
So the efforts is taken. Let's see, because if you declare a state of emergency, what will you do differently? It is very costly to just declare a state of emergency across the whole area. It is very, very costly. So I think that let's try what he's trying to see. After some time, we'll observe and see, okay, have we achieved? Because the end result is what we want. The waters are now clean. The soil has been restored. So we think that he's doing his bit. He's done better than what the previous government, because he even said he's prepared to put his presidential line to stop the Galamsey. We didn't see it stop. It became worse. So I think that he has started on a good note, but we still want to see more effort. Because at the end of the day, we want the water bodies to be clean for all of us, to avoid things that we don't want in this country. So if he can step up a little, and I hear the police team was withdrawn, if he can still, because we wanted to fight from all angles, multifaceted. The problem is complex. We want more effort to fight the menace. Because
but the anti-Galamsey task force is back.
No, that is back. But the police also had a team also fighting it. So two-pronged effort will be better than just one.
Okay.
So if there's a way to review it and still send the police, because we want the thing to stop. It's affecting everybody, whether you're NDC, APP, CPP, APP, PPP, whatever it is. So he's doing well. He has started well. He has just 8 months. But we still think that he can step up.
Okay.
Let him step up. And at the end of the day, we want to see the water clean so that everybody will be happy in the country.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Lily, I thought you were going to give me the...
Unfortunately, I don't have
I knew it. I knew it.
My next guest is here.
I knew it. And somebody just sent me a message that looks like now the executive is actually romancing the media as well.
Well...
So are you being romanced by the executive?
That is a person's opinion, and opinions are like noses, unfortunately. My name is Lily Muhammad. I am back after this break. So that's Kwesi Botre Jr. Esquire. He's a private legal practitioner. He's aide to Dr. Baumia, and he's a member of the NPP Communications team. That's Theophilus Jimega Jr. Esquire. He's a private legal practitioner, mining engineer, a member of the NDC Communications team, and Reverend Dr. Gosing Ahiabo is a lecturer, senior lecturer with the Central University. He's head of the Economics and Social Department. I am back shortly. Stay tuned. We'll talk about Gazette 360. Back to the show. This is still GH Today, your perfect morning companion on television, and I am Lily Mohammed. I've been joined in studio this morning by the MD of the Ghana Publishing Company Limited, Nana Kwesi Boite Esquire. Feels as though today is the battle of the Esquires. Good morning, Council.
Good morning, Lily.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. It's good
you
to
look
see
well.
you.
Good to see you too.
You look well too.
Do I?
Yes.
Thank you.
How is Ghana Publishing doing?
Ghana Publishing is doing well. I mean, I'm sleeping less, but...
Were you expecting anything different?
Well,
Obviously
I mean,
not.
Until I started doing a 24-hour shift system, which requires me sometimes to be in the office at 2 a.m. and all of that. I didn't anticipate that I was going to be working both day and night. See, so, but for God and country, we're doing well.
So let's talk about it. 6 months on, after your assumption of duty, what was the state of Ghana Publishing when you met it? And then we'll talk about the 6 months in totality, structurally, financially, operationally.
Okay, that's a pregnant question. I would break it into three, as you've said. When I went, structurally, the company needed some restructuring. Okay. Because one, it was overstaffed. And, this is a company that pays for its own staff. We're not paid from the consolidated fund. So if you overstaff, your financials will suffer. So we took inspiration from the President 24-hour economy and introduced a shift system. We moved about 100 people into a night shift. Because my estimation is that the day shift required not more than 150. We were about 250. So we had about 100 people in surplus. We restructured, put people in the night shift. What it meant was that we were going to be able to do production during the day and also through the night. Okay. So the waiting time for most of the jobs that we had, which took too long, now became much shorter. And for instance, if you applied for a gazette, we reduced the waiting time from about 8 weeks to 3 weeks, just by doing that restructuring. We also generally needed to whip up attitudinal change. Okay. And so,
which is very synonymous to the public sector workers.
And so we made it a point. I am at the office always at 8. And it is mandatory for you to log in by 8 or you receive a query and a sanction will follow. So there is significant attitudinal change. If you come to Ghana Publishing right now, you will see it by the posture of the staff. In terms of the finances, of course, the company was bleeding from overstaffing and all the attitudinal issues that were there. There were times when at the end of the month you needed an overdraft from the bank to be able to pay salaries. Okay. We have restructured the finances by the restructuring that we did to make sure that the finances are better. There are departments that did not exist, which we have introduced. We didn't have a quality control department. We've introduced one. We've introduced a legal department. We've introduced a commercial sales department. So there are some structural reorganizations that we've done. It has resulted in significant financial, shaping, and there is a lot of financial discipline that is also going on. So,
if you say financial discipline, what do you mean?
Well,
what did you inherit, and what is your position now?
Well, I mean, like I was saying, before there were times when the company required overdrafts to pay salaries. Okay. Now we don't do that anymore. Okay. We're able to pay our salaries in full at the end of the month. And we are gradually, retooling the company. We're buying equipment with the little surpluses that we're making. So I do not want to dwell, too much on the finances because then it changes the narrative. But I can tell you that the financial health of the company is better now, significantly better now than I met it. Yes.
Did you have to lay off some people?
No, we didn't.
Why? You say that you were overstaffed.
But that's what I'm telling you. Instead of laying them off, I introduced a night shift, pushed a number of people into a night shift. It gave us room to even employ a few more. Yes.
Okay, so you have employed a few more.
Yes, under my leadership, we have employed a few.
And the few more, how were they employed? Meritocracy or, as usual, NDC folks?
No. We have, for instance, last 2 weeks, we had an interview panel, and this is something that's verifiable. Interview panel made up of, management. I was only one person sitting in, and there is no color when it comes to these. We had an interview panel. We interviewed a set of people. They scored them, and the HR had to, go through the process to employ. We have not done these things with any political party color in mind. We've done, and you would know that because Ghana Publishing is an expert area. When you need people who have knowledge of typesetting, you need people who have. You can't just go and bring anybody and say, because it's a party person, you should come and do. Publishing is an expert area. Yeah. So we are employing people who are fit for the purpose. And I'm never interested in which political color they wield. In all honesty.
Let's talk about revenue streams. How has it changed? And then in generating those revenue streams, having been able to motivate your staff. When you go to the public sector, one of the critical things they talk about is motivation.
Yes, staff motivation is very important. Motivation is not only financial, though. Sometimes the work environment you create for the staff helps them to be motivated to work. And what I know is that when people know that there is an objective for the task they are performing, they are motivated to do it well. Since we have been in the helm, the message has been made very clear that we're building a Ghana Publishing Company for the staff of Ghana Publishing Company. The president can call me any day, and I've always told the staff, look, if I do a good job, I'm likely to leave because the president would think that, he's doing well, I need him here. If I do a poor job, I'm still likely to leave because the president will say, he's doing such a bad job, let him leave. So either ways, the chances that I will leave is very high and probably very soon. And so the company we're building for you. And so all of this, for instance, introducing a night shift, getting people to commit that they will work at night and forfeit their sleep required a lot of sacrifice, and they needed to appreciate, the objective of introducing that night shift. And they have bought into it, and so they do it willingly, And so, yes, all of these have helped to shape, the attitudinal change that has, been carried out. The financial streams, Gazette is our main stake. And you would see that we've been consistent since we assumed office about educating Ghanaians on what the Ghana Gazette is, about, insisting that we protect the integrity of the Gazette. We have introduced all manner of security features on it, and now we have, literally waged war against fake gazetting. So we are not only for the purposes of, improving our finances, but also for the purposes of ensuring the integrity of the Ghana Gazette as a document. We have introduced this campaign we call Gazette 360, and we've been consistent about it in the hope that people will understand that the Gazette is an official document, it is sacred, and that people must not make them by the roadside. So this is a game.
Now that you mentioned Gazette 360, many have called it the game changer. Explain to us in clear terms what it means and what loopholes are you looking at sealing with this Gazette 360?
Yes, Lily. So the Ghana Gazette is the document that officially serves as a communication tool between the government of Ghana and the people of Ghana. If government passes laws, if parliament passes laws, it has to be published in the Gazette before that law can take effect. In fact, the copy that the president signs with a green pen, that copy is brought to my office immediately after he signs it. Then we publish that. That is how laws are made, for instance. There are many things that require publication in the Gazette. Change of name is the commonest one. So if you got married and change your name, you need to Gazette it. If you naturally want to change your name for some reason or another, you have to Gazette a name change. And without a Gazette, you cannot then get a new passport, a new national identification card. You cannot change your bank details. So the Gazette is a very important document. Unfortunately, by the time I assumed office, people treated the Ghana Gazette as any other document. It was this sheet of paper with a coat of arms on it. And if you went to a commission of oath, they can purport to make it for you. Look, you would realize that the requirements per the Chieftaincy Act is that a chief must be gazetted. When they go through the process at the National House of Chiefs, they give them the certification. They say, I've been gazetted. Meanwhile, the National House of Chiefs doesn't publish the Gazette. You need to bring it for us to publish it. The people didn't know this. If you are a pastor and you want to have weddings in your church, you need to go through the process and be gazetted to do so.
Oh, that is the case.
Yes, even your premises, your church premises, where you want to, do the weddings, it has to be gazetted for hosting weddings.
So the pastor must be gazetted?
Yes. And the church premises must be gazetted too.
Okay.
Otherwise, the marriage is void.
So any marriage that has been officiated by a pastor that's not gazetted is void?
No, it's not an ordinance marriage. It's void. Maybe we can look at it, the traditional marriage you did before, if you did. But ordinance marriage is clearly void. And people need to know this. And so there have been times when people have gone to roadside, Newtown, in their court premises, commissioner of oath, they've procured a gazette. The gazette is not authentic, it is fake. They've traveled outside the country and have had to show this gazette as a basis for a name change. And the authorities always write to us for certification of these gazettes, and we will write back to them and say...
Are you cracking down on these fake gazettes?
We are very seriously doing so. In the past 2 weeks, we've caused 4 persons to be arrested in respect of fake gazette. When we see you in possession of a fake gazette, we will cause your arrest. You will show us who gave it to you. We will cause his arrest. We are making sure that people are prosecuted for it. Tomorrow, there are cases fixed for court in respect of fake gazettes. So we're really serious about it because we need to preserve the integrity and sanctity of the Ghana Gazette.
Is it just pastors that need gazetting?
No. Like I said, pastors need gazetting for purposes of officiating weddings. Do
imams need gazetting?
The imams need gazetting too for purposes of conducting Islamic marriages. Yes, but for some reason, the Islamic marriages, the gazetting is not happening at all, and a lot of the Islamic marriages that are being conducted are not known to law. It is something we intend to meet the Muslim communities and give very serious education on. We need to work on these.
Many a time people complain about the inaccessibility of gazettes and then the delays. Is Gazette 360 targeting these bottlenecks?
Yes, so the inaccessibility, and now it is a matter of education. This is what Gazette 360 is about. There is a perception that the gazetting process is cumbersome. This is absolutely not true. If you come to Ghana Publishing and you enter our business premises, I can assure you, you won't take 10 minutes to go through a gazetting process. It is very simple. Now, people need to know, for instance, that the times when you had to wait 3 months to get your gazette are long gone. Since we took over, since we started the 24-hour service, the longest it would take you to get a gazette is 3 weeks. And yet, we know people want it even faster. So we have a premium system where you get it in 3 days. And even better, if you need it tomorrow, we still provide a 24-hour service where you can get the gazette tomorrow. So the times when you said you needed a Goro boy to make sure your gazette is faster, it is not the case anymore. And this is why Gazette 360 is important. We need to let you know that it is a very simple process, and the place to do it is Ghana Publishing Company. And when you come, you can get that gazette tomorrow, and at a very, very, affordable little fee. So
how affordable is it? I mean, for Ghanaians, does the price cut across, or it differs with businesses, civil society, churches?
It differs. It differs depending on what you're gazetting. For instance, gazetting of name change is different from gazetting of pastors for purposes of officiating marriages. It's different from gazetting of inspectors for the Standards Authority or any other place. Depending on the service, the gazetting of chiefs, for instance, is different. And also the time, the waiting time. The regular gazette is the 3 weeks, but we have the premium, which will cost you a little more, and you get it in 3 days. And the 24-hour service will cost you a little more above the premium, but you get it the next day. You know.
What systems have you put in place to safeguard system failures? I mean, we've seen implementation of these things under previous government, not necessarily Gazette 360, but a lot of policies under previous governments. Yet, with time, we experience systemic failures.
Well, what we're doing at Ghana Publishing is that we're working with the staff and the union consistently on all the policy changes that we're making. There is serious consultation, implementation is done together. And so the people own the policies that we're implementing. Trust me, to get, after 60 years, to get people to commit to coming to work at night and without, any challenges and loud cry, and for the kind of salaries that my staff take, it takes commitment. It takes people who are willing to effect a change. And so I dove my heart out for the staff who are doing such a great job. And we believe that as long as the staff are doing it knowing well that they're doing it for an organization that they belong to, that they are proud to belong to, these systems are not likely to fail.
Some say this is just mere rebranding. What fundamentally are you changing with regards to gazetting in Ghana?
Well, I mean, see, for start, if you take a copy of the Gazette, if you compare it to the one we had 6 months before, you will see that we're doing something about the Gazette. Before, it was a black and white Gazette, just simply so. Now, you will see a Gazette with a gold coat of arms on it. That coat of arms has security features on it, just like you have security features on your Ghana CD. If you open every page of the Gazette, you will see a golden watermark. That itself is a preservation of the integrity of the Gazette. There are security features all over. So we are not just setting out to tell people that there is a Gazette and rebranding, but we're taking steps to make sure the document itself has integrity by introducing security features in the document. So if it was just about branding, then we wouldn't do that. But for me as a lawyer, the integrity of the single most important communication document, which is the Ghana Gazette, is very important to me. And that is why we are at this. It's clearly not for branding purposes.
You talk about crackdown on fake gazettes, but it will still go on. For you as an entity, what means are you employing? Can the public walk into Ghana Publishing and report? Are there report lines so people can say that, oh, I've seen this person here doing this and it's illegal?
Yes. And anybody who has any concerns about the Gazette, please, and the day we launch, I invited the media. This is a fight for all of us. The integrity of the Ghana Gazette is for all of us as Ghanaians. And so by all means, if you have leads that will help us crack down even better on fake gazetting, please, by all means, reach out to us, reach out to the police, and help us to do this. But more importantly, we, as an organization, are serious about cracking down when we say we're doing so. Before, if they found somebody holding a fake gazette, they will say, oh, this is fake. And then they will ask you to do a new one. No. Now, if we find you holding a fake gazette, we will report you to the police. And we are following these matters all through till prosecution and conviction and sentencing. We want to make sure that the people who are committing the crimes know that there is consequence. Hitherto, people felt that, they found out they would just destroy it. But we want people to know that there are legal consequences, and we'll follow through. As long as I am there as an organization, we are dedicated to making sure that people suffer the consequences for attempting to fake the Gazette.
What's your baseline for KPIs for the Gazette 360? How are you able to track improvement?
Well, we're keeping records. We're keeping records in terms of, the number of persons who are now coming to us. We're keeping records in terms of the revenues. But more importantly, we're keeping records in terms of how we are making sure that the persons who are profiting from that enterprise are suffering the consequences. We, from next month, very likely, we are discussing a collaboration, for instance, with NIA, National Identification Authority. We will have personnel stationed from Ghana Publishing at NIA. And
what would they do specifically?
Anybody who brings a gazette, because if NIA, a lot of the times it's about name change, and a lot of people use gazettes. Often they verify from us over a distance. But we want to station a personnel, and every gazette you send to NIA will have to be certified by our person who is stationed there. We will do the same with Passport Office. So the use of the gazette itself, the most places where you use it, like NIA, like Passport Office, you won't be able to use it without verification. And so we are making sure that we are reaching the problem at its roots. And we are keeping...
Are you taking advantage of technology as well? Because in as much as you want to station officers at NIA and other agencies, maybe there should be a system where with just a click of a button, you can verify instantly by any agency. And even outside Ghana.
We're working on that too. We are working on a technology system that would make it possible to verify the Ghana Gazette online. But, because we're dealing with a lot of, fake, which is, it is easier when technology is made available, so easily. So we have to make sure that the systems we're putting in place have security, systems that will prevent people from, again, using technology to compound the problem. We have commissioned people who are working on the online systems for us already. The hope is that by close of this year, not only will you be able to verify a gazette, you'll also be able to apply for a gazette online.
So anywhere in the world you are?
Yes, you'll be able to apply online, but we need to make sure that the systems are such that these applications, will be genuine, so that people, unscrupulous people, won't use that for identity theft and all of that. So there are a lot of, knots to tighten, and we're working on it.
Let's look at, ever since its implementation, what you've been able to achieve so far in terms of broader public access, in terms of even revenue, in terms of even publishing times.
Well, in terms of public access, there is significant improvement in the numbers that are coming to us directly because of the education that we're giving. People are reaching out to us for inquiries on things they don't understand. People are coming to us to automatically do the gazette directly. We have a relationship with Ghana Post, and we have made it very clear, if you are far away, go to the nearest post office. The numbers have improved. But not only have the numbers improved, of course, the improvement in the numbers also come with improvements, in revenue. So the numbers have improved, revenue has slightly improved. But for me, the objective is not only the financials. The objective is to ensure the sanctity of the Gazette, such that people who are traveling with the Gazette, people who are transacting business with the Gazette, will be certain that the one they have in their hand is the right one. And so, please, I insist, come to Ghana Publishing Company if you want to do a Gazette. Don't do it anywhere else. You might end up in a trouble. And for me, that is what is important.
A lot of people may not know that Ghana Publishing also publishes even for private individuals. How affordable is it?
Well, we're very competitive. In fact, I am certain that we are more affordable because, of course, we are the state. We're more affordable than most of the private organizations that do publishing for you. We have made it an objective to ensure that, the writers in Ghana get the opportunity to publish their works in Ghana. A lot of the private publishers, they take the job and they take it to China or India to go and publish and bring it back. It looks financially more viable, but we have to preserve, the heritage of writing in Ghana. And so when you do works and you send it outside, your Dinkra symbols that you have inserted in some pages, when you go to China, is a whole different, Chinese writing altogether, and you're getting something different. So we have an objective to do, a job which is good enough for Mother Ghana, such that writers will have confidence in publishing their books in Ghana. And so we're working on it. We're inviting people to come to us, whatever it takes to make sure you publish your book in Ghana. Even if it takes, we taking, a slight hit to make sure that your work is done, we will do it.
Is the public buying into it?
Well,
so far with your engagements?
Yes, very much. We're getting works. In fact, we have in the past time since I've been there 6 months, published not only for Ghanaian writers, but for some writers even in Sierra Leone. So we're not getting jobs only from Ghana. We're getting jobs from beyond Ghana. And the objective is to become, a publishing house in the sub-region where, when you think about publishing, you won't think about China and India. You would think about the Ghana Publishing Company. And people will come from Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Liberia, even in the French-speaking countries to publish with us. That is the objective.
By the end of your first year, what hard results do you expect the public to see? Not just about Gazette 360, but about Ghana Publishing under your tenure as MD?
Well, we've already started doing some very significant investments in Ghana Publishing. We intend to do a complete retool of the company because, technology is advancing. And now printing, before, we're doing a lot of manual, activity in the job, folding and other things which we do manually. But there is automation all over the place. And to get even faster, we need to retool. And so we're dedicating some resources to retooling. We are introducing digital infrastructure, a lot of digital infrastructure. We're setting up, in fact, a whole digital press center where we will do, proper digital printing, in its fullest.
Okay.
So by the end of my first year, I expect that in terms of infrastructure and machinery, Ghana Publishing will be one of the most resourced publishing companies in Ghana. And then we'll translate it now into the actual work, waiting time, delivery time, and all of those going forward.
President Mahama calls this his legacy term. For you as an MD, what do you want to be remembered for if tomorrow President Mahama decides to reshuffle you?
I would like to be remembered for the transformation that I have brought. I think that, in the 6 months that I have been there, if you speak to the staff, they will tell you. We have had significant transformation in terms of attitude. The company has seen significant facelift. If you enter the premises, you will see that, the place is looking well. The people are working well. If for nothing at all, I would like for 24-hour shift system that we have introduced to remain and for people to at least remember that it was for the 60 years that I have been there, it took me to have it start 24-hour shift system. People say, for a printing press, it's easy. And yet the company was 60 years old and it took me. The retooling we're doing, the machinery that we're buying and setting up, clearly in 6 months, if I live today, there is a lot to remember me for.
Do you think that knowing what you know now at Ghana Publishing, if President Mahama appoints you tomorrow, you would still go there?
I will go there. I will go there proudly. In fact, now more than before, I will go because I never knew anything about publishing and printing. For me, my biggest headache was, how am I going to learn the ropes, and manage an entity like that when I know nothing about it? Now I know. Now also I know the potential of the company. And I know where I met it and where we can take it. So now more than ever, I am more enthused about changing the fortunes of this company and making it into something, that is worth being proud of. So yes.
Are you also looking at Ghana Publishing being in other regions as well? I know you are in the Ashanti region.
We are in Ashanti region. We intend to spread to other regions. We're working on it. It might not be in the immediate term because in Ashanti region, we only have an outlet.
What are the plans?
In Ashanti region, we have just an outlet. It doesn't do publishing.
Okay.
We have, we recently, when we met the Otumfuo, we asked him to give us land to be able to build a production line in Ashanti region. We want to be able to have a production line in Ashanti region. The places that we will move to, and we intend to do this one space every year. So if, for instance, we introduce our Takrady office, we intend to introduce an office that will be able to do a production line as well. You know, and production line is expensive. It means buying equipment and setting up anew. It's quite expensive. So, and you know, unfortunately, we are not government subvented, so we need to cut our quota according to our own cloth size. And so we will take it gradually, but yes, there is an objective to spread to other regions as and when we can afford it.
Do you think the NDC is on track under President Mahama? Absolutely.
I mean, this country has not seen what we're seeing now in a long time. President Mahama clearly has shown that this is a legacy tenure and he intends to make a mark. You would have seen in the performance of the economy. You would have seen in his own humility that he's leading with. You would have seen in the enthusiasm in the appointees that, you know, he appointed. You would have seen in the size of government that he has set up to do what he's doing. Clearly, I think that, you know, this country has God to thank for the election of President Mahama.
Is the NDC embarking on a political persecution of its largest opponents, the NPP?
At all. I mean, I don't know why anybody will ask that. Who has been persecuted, and to what extent? Of course, crime has to be punished. And so, if anybody has had to report to police or Yoko or any authority to answer questions, it's part of accountability. You know, and if you lead, you must be ready to remain accountable. But political persecution would mean baseless arrest and throwing people into jail. And clearly that's not what is happening.
You're a lawyer. Abonya has been arrested. He's been remanded for insulting people.
I don't think that the charge is insulting people.
Breach of
public
peace.
Act tending to breach the public peace. Of course, I've heard some of the things he said. Were you not disturbed? Have you heard?
I was, but the people can go to court and sue him.
No, it's not sue. You see, when you are creating an atmosphere of insecurity amongst the citizenry, and you are literally calling for an uprise, you know, to suppress a non-existing situation, you clearly have an objective to destabilize the political and social environment. That cannot be tolerated. That level of recklessness cannot be tolerated. All the people I've heard talking about Bronya, I've not heard one person saying that, you know, the level of recklessness with which he's speaking is not a matter of concern. And if it is a matter of concern, then the law has an antidote, which is that act tending to breach the peace remains illegal in the criminal codes of this country. The police is free to investigate it. A judge has a discretion when a matter comes before him to grant or refuse bail. This judge exercised her discretion to refuse bail. I won't fault him for it. I won't fault. It's a lady judge, right? I won't fault her for it.
No, it's right. Just right.
Male. So I won't fault him for it at all. It is the reason why they have the discretion. And please remember, when you are denied bail, and it's because, according to the judge, there is investigation going on, and Abronya's utterances are likely, if he is granted bail, to affect the investigation, so he's remanded. I'm sure the period will come. It's usually a week or two. It will come, and his bail application will be reconsidered. So many people are denied bail on a daily basis. Why is it different for Abronya? If you go to court, so many people consistently are denied bail for one reason or another. Why is it different for Abronya?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Your final words. I'm sure people are watching you and they would want to get their things gazetted. Your final words.
Anybody who has an issue that requires gazetting must understand that the Ghana Gazette is a legal document.
Right.
And the law makes it mandatory that only the Ghana Publishing Company Limited can publish the Ghana Gazette. And so if you're looking for a gazette as a solution. You're thinking about Ghana Publishing, no matter what anybody tells you, you have to come to Ghana Publishing Company for everything Gazette. If you get it from anywhere else, chances that you are only throwing away money and buying a problem, legal problem for yourself is very high. Please don't risk it. Yes.
And we'll miss you on our Friday shows, by the way.
Yes.
When are you returning?
I will have to ask the chief of staff to give me permission to come back.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's
Really.
Nana Kwesi Boateng.
I still hold you to that promise you haven't fulfilled.
Well, yes. That's Nana Kwesi Boateng Square. He is the managing director for the Ghana Publishing Company Limited. Let's do some celebrations now. Happiest birthday, Maxwell Coleman, CEO of Maxwell Consultant, face of Max by Ghana. May this new chapter bring you abundant happiness, health, and prosperity. You know I love you. Cheers to greatness from a special person. Special person, who you do? Happy birthday, Queen Lisa, being mayor. Day be filled with joy, laughter, and everything that makes you happiest. You truly deserve all the love and blessings this year has to offer. Wishing you endless smiles, success, and beautiful moments ahead. From Michael. Happy birthday to Jessica at Nunana Clinic. On this special day, remember your strength inspires others. Shine on and keep making waves. Birthdays are a new start, a fresh beginning, and a time to pursue new endeavors with new goals. Move forward with confidence and courage. You're a very special person. May today and all of your days be amazing. Happy birthday to Engineer Danny from the Air Force Diamond Wings Band. Happy birthday to Donatus Akamugre, Upper East Regional Minister, from your wife and loved ones. Happy birthday, sir. Belated happy birthday to Mr. Ike Nana Opoin, CEO of Travel People and Cargo People, from your loving family and the entire Entry clan. We celebrate you today. Your love, sacrifices, and leadership inspire us all. May God bless you with long life, joy, and greater success, from Grace Entry. That should do for the show. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you're marking any significant milestone, we say congratulations to you. My name is Lily Muhammad. On behalf of the entire team, led by Ibrahim Alassan, Ruben, Adam Banini, Terry, Nurain, the guys behind the scenes, camera, sound, light, and floor, we say thank you very much. Do have a great morning. I'll see you again at 11:30 a.m. for the Brunch Time News.